Hello, hello, hello. What's up, people? So you are tuning in to a commentary session by yours truly and Fazan, the big honcho, relating to the main fight. Although we will be covering some of the undercard fights as well. Main fight, obviously, is Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, two incredibly well-known professional boxers in the boxing world. Really big fight there. Now, obviously, it's going to be a very exciting fight from uh, Walaikum Assalam cryptic. Yeah, so it's going to be quite an interesting fight. Obviously, Jake Paul, significant influence in the celebrity world, really, popular YouTuber, going up against Tyron Woodley, who is a obviously an MMA fighter, particularly with a wrestling background, quite well known in the MMA world. Obviously, Jake Paul has experience of fighting MMA fighters previously in the boxing context. He obviously fought Ben Askren and knocked him out. So we'll see how that fight goes. Currently, though, for those of you who are interested in looking at the undercard fights, as Adil has mentioned, for those of you who don't know, Tommy Fury fought Anthony Taylor. He won by unanimous decision, 40-36. Quite a convincing victory for him on points. He didn't put up necessarily the best performance ever, and I think he acknowledged that as well. But it is what it is. He's still happy with it, and he called out. He called out Paul after the end of his fight because obviously I think he's looking to build up for that main money fight. Currently, the fight that is being shown is a fight between Ivan Baranchyk and Montana Love. It's a welterweight fight. Quite an interesting fight from what I understand for those of you tuning in. I think we just finished the sixth round, I believe, but I'll just see once the fight is finished in their respective corners. It looks like it's gone both ways throughout this fight. Looks like they've both had really good success. Obviously, I think Love is probably the favorite because he's undefeated, but that's not to say Baranchyk is not an interesting fighter to watch because he's had 20 wins himself and only 2 losses. So they're both relatively, I would imagine, well matched. And yeah, just as the 7th round is beginning, we might as well commentate from now on. But stay tuned because obviously we'll be working our way through the undercards to the main fight.
Yeah, even Baranchyk actually fought. Josh Taylor beat him to win his first world title, so now undisputed. Josh Taylor and Montana Love, as you said, unbeaten. So I think Barancyk's seen as a step up. But it's interesting that Tommy Fury. I mean, I'm not surprised Tommy Fury didn't look particularly good, but calling out Jake Paul after probably would have said something along the lines I can imagine of, "Well, I didn't look very good, so he should fight me." But
absolutely right.
Let's see though. Exactly. There you go. So he's got nothing to be afraid of, etc. So selling himself. So no surprise there. Crypt is saying Assalamu alaikum. Jake Paul third round knockout. But Tyron Woodley is an absolute legend. As Baranchyk tries to put Love up against the ropes here, and then he slips after trying to land a left hook. It says Woodley's more of an MMA fighter. Hope he wins. And the deal says Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury with Logan Paul in Jake's corner and Tyson in Tommy's. Is it going to happen after that call up by Tommy to Jake? I think that's what they're trying to make happen, isn't it? What do you think? It surely will happen, I'd assume, if Jake Paul wins.
Yeah, he might go for it. You know, follow the money, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure how exciting Tommy Fury's American debut necessarily was, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. He's obviously got his own fan base and popularity, and just a slip there by Baranchyk. He's exerting a lot of force into that left hook that he just threw, by the way, in terms of this Baranchyk Love fight. But yeah, I mean, maybe Paul will want to fight Tommy Fury, or maybe he'll fight someone.
Knockdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a very short right hand from Montana Love.
How many seconds are you into the fight?
The fight has it's just finished the round after that knockdown.
I am so behind. I'm gonna refresh my stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, while I do that, yeah, I mean, I don't know what Jake Jake Paul will do, to be honest, or
Mm.
even his brother. I mean, I would think that the Fury fight is a much harder fight. It's quite a step up, and I think he's probably gotten a lot of enjoyment from. Hello, Art X 00. Welcome to the stream. I think he's to be honest gotten a lot of he's got a lot of money
Mhm.
and popularity and a lot of momentum just fighting people who, to be perfectly honest, aren't proper boxers. It
Yeah.
looks like Baron Chick has actually decided to give up. The corners
Oh,
decided to throw
that's
in the
it.
towel,
Oh, wow.
and there you go. So it looks like Love has won this fight against Baron Chick. By the way, it was an interesting, even fight initially for those of you who might have been tuning in, but it looks like Baron Chick decided to throw in the towel. To be honest, I feel like I didn't get to see the knockdown, but obviously it took a lot of wind out of Baron Chick's sails, and
Yeah,
looks like the corner thought shouldn't continue.
yeah, it's a short right hand. I think he looks a bit exhausted, Bandrick, and he's an all action fighter. So I reckon that, considering he was swinging to the heels and he was on the floor without even getting touched for the first one, where he just kind of slipped on the floor. I'm not surprised they got stopped. I think it would have just taken a little bit from there. Cryptic says Jake versus Tommy will happen. Tommy is a decent fighter. He needs to improve a lot to get them belts. It's only the start of the. Yeah, he is so. Like, I mean, Tommy Fury is a novice at the moment still, so that's why it makes the Jake Paul fight intriguing, because Jake Paul is on, like, he's a novice as well, really. But obviously, Tommy Fury's got more of a boxing background, so it's okay. Well, can Jake Paul stand up to someone who's got boxing background? Just as someone messing with the number of rounds for the matches. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh. Danny DDT says yo yo yo. Says South London in the building. Thanks, Danny DDT, for joining. Well, to be fair,
Yeah,
we're
Danny
South
represent.
London as well, so yeah,
South
represent.
London represent.
South London represent. But yeah, thanks guys
Stay
if you're joining.
safe.
Yes, stay safe and well, as Anti Joshua would say. But yeah, please do if you're on Twitch as well. We've got a few people joining from Twitch and Twitter, and also of course YouTube, which is the main platform. Do remember to smash the like button if you don't mind. And I think it's follow on Twitch and also Twitter. We've got also TTV Zenon123. Thanks, Zenon, for
Hello.
joining as well. Says hi. So good to see some new people on. And Danny says, "How has Jake Paul got more of a boxing background than Tommy Fury?" He doesn't. He doesn't, does he? That's the thing, right? He doesn't.
Not
That's
not really. I
no.
think
He
he's
doesn't. Of course, he doesn't.
him and his brother particularly interested in wrestling, right? They had a lot of wrestling background,
yeah. They
wrestling
fought.
experience.
Yeah, nationally they fought. They didn't fight. They just wrestled nationally, but that's it. I mean,
Which is
they
not necessarily transferable to
not at
boxing, of
all.
course, because that's the reason why Ben Askren couldn't really, well, not to make it a fight by fight specific point there, but there's a reason why UFC fighters can't box.
Yeah.
In the ring against actual professional boxers. Not to say that Paul is a professional boxer, but he's certainly got more experience than the UFC fighter and the basketball player and the YouTuber that he's fought previously. So I mean, let's just catch up of the people that Jake Paul has fought before. So he fought Ali Easton Gibb, who's an Easton Gibb, who's basically a YouTuber. Then fought Nate Robinson, of course, who's a basketball player, and then fought Ben Askren, who's an MMA fighter, particularly in the wrestling field. So, and he's going on to fight another a wrestler, basically, who is significantly shorter than him, to be perfectly honest. And although doesn't have a significant reach disadvantage, is probably not gonna is gonna have issues trying to fight someone who's, you know, quite a bit taller than him, I would say, because Woodley is what 5'9", and
Yeah, he's
Jake Paul's
5'9".
6'1",
Yeah.
and they're
Things.
fighting at a
Yeah. Go on.
cruiserweight. And Woodley, I think his experience in MMA, he's always fought at a like around 170 pounds. He's coming in at about 190 for this fight.
It's
So
cruiserweight. Yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna work for him very well.
thing is, he's not. He's actually
Sorry, 1 second. By the way, keep talking.
Right, he's primarily a wrestler as well. Is Tyron Woodley? So that's going to be really interesting to see whether he puts up more of a fight than Ben Askren, which I think he will, because I think he strikes a bit better as well and has got a bit of a better. I think he's taking it more seriously. The shape that he's in, he's clearly taking it more seriously. I think it's less of a jump up in weight. TTV Zena 123 says, "I hope Jake Paul gets dropped." Oh God, and says, "I'm trying to grow on YouTube. Please, could you help me grow, please, and subscribe? Go for it. If you want to check out a channel, go for it." Exactly. Paul hasn't done anything credible. He hasn't. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, at the moment, it's a bit of a novice act. But he's, like, to be fair to him, he's trying to take it seriously from what it sounds like. And if he is going to go after people like, Tommy Fury, for example, yes, Tommy Fury is a novice, as I said, but he's still a legit fighter. He's someone with a pro license. He's had multiple boxing fights. And also, it's just one of those things, right? I think he clearly... Tommy Fury, that is someone who has the name because of Tyson Fury, who's obviously heavyweight champion of the world. And he's actually here in the UK. He's been on Love Island, which is like a reality TV show, which a lot of people watch. Not myself, but a lot of people do. Adil says, for someone what's going, oh yeah, I've already answered that. Could you drop me a subscribe on YouTube? My boy Anderson Gibb says TTV Zena 123, and Danny says, you follow me on Twitch, I got you on YouTube safe. I followed you. My YouTube is Isadab06. Go for it. I mean, check it out if you're interested, people. Woodley's the underdog says ARTX00. Is he the underdog? To be honest with you, Tyron Woodley, I think actually, to be fair, he is. I think a lot of people would expect Tyron Woodley to win if you're from like the UFC, because they're like, that's my boy. But otherwise, I actually think a lot of people think that either Tyron Woodley is there for the cash, which to be fair, I don't think he is. He looks like he's in shape. He looks like he's up for it. Or he's a little bit out of his depth. Which again, like, that could definitely be the case. Like, I don't see why not. Guys, as well, thanks as well for tuning in. Please do remember to smash the like button to this video. It really does help us to grow. So any help towards us growing would be greatly appreciated.
So TTV Zena 123 says, Jake Paul acts like he owns the world. I hope he gets dropped. If not, I hope he has a fight with KSI and KSI will drop him. I mean, to be honest, I think Jake Paul's done a very good job of just trying to get as many people to hate him as possible, and people want to watch him to see if he'll actually get dropped for once, because that's what people want to see. It's kind of like how Mayweather in his last few years, he kind of ended up developing the reputation of someone who just people wanted to see get dropped, although he obviously had his own fans. Same goes for Jake Paul. He's got his own fans as well. But I have a feeling that he has that personality where people just want to see this guy get his face punched in, and unfortunately that hasn't happened for those people in his past few fights. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. KSI obviously is obviously the equivalent of Jake Paul in terms of popularity in the UK, in terms of like how big he is. Obviously KSI is probably one of the biggest YouTubers in the UK, to be honest, far more likable than Jake Paul, I would imagine, as well. And he obviously has a boxing background in that he also popularized the whole YouTubers turn to boxing thing. So maybe he'll jump back into the ring. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be a massive money fight as well. We'll see what happens. But
yeah,
I think KSI would have real issues fighting Jake Paul, to be perfectly honest. Jake Paul, I think, has really stepped up his boxing game. He's taken it super seriously, whereas I don't think KSI is looking to actually form a professional boxing career out of things.
No, he's not. It was more just, celebrity boxing, and now they've got I think like YouTubers versus TikTokers or something. It's some kind of like exhibition league that they've started, and it's basically that's the kind of thing that he's on. He's not on professional boxing. He's actually, he's done a lot of music, and not just that, but he's also started his own management company for boxers with Wasserman Boxing. So he's just doing his thing. A couple of comments here. As you guys can see, I'm a Jake Paul hater, says Zenab. I'm a huge KSI fan. That's why, to be fair. Adil says, okay, for Sun, Daniel Dubois up next. Oh, then that co-main, then the main event. Okay, yeah, Amanda. So we go on.
Tommy Fury, Anthony Taylor. That fight's happened.
Yep.
Ivan Baranchyk, Montana Love has happened. I believe Charles Conwell versus Lucas versus I think he was the Charles Conwell fights happened as well. So that's done. So I think that leaves us with Daniel Dubois and Joe Cusimano and the main fight, and potentially Amanda Serrano and Yamileth Mercado, which I don't think has happened yet. So
no,
three
that
fights. I think 3 fights are left.
Yeah,
potentially.
That's a really good fight in terms of like Amanda Serrano. You haven't obviously seen her, but she is a very very
like
good
absolute
fighter,
beast given the record. 40 wins and 1 loss, and like I'm sure she'll win. Probably, we'll see. But
yeah, she's really, really good.
She's going up against a much younger opponent, so who knows if that has any effect on the fight.
Yeah. ARTX, just to go through the comments, sorry, while we're waiting for the next fight. ARTX says Jake Paul going to have that robot entrance again. I think he had a robot entrance at Triller. I think that's more of a Triller thing where they have robots. I don't know whether Showtime will have the same thing. I don't know whether they've got the budget for it, to be fair. Zenom says this is off topic, but how do you guys grow big on YouTube? Hard work, to be honest. That's all. Also says now Jake Paul just picked crappy opponents, so he will obviously win. Yeah, fair enough. KSI is focused on YouTube and said loyal from where he started. Proper hardcore KSI fan, fair enough. And his music, KSI is unreal.
I do like KSI, to be honest.
No, he's a funny guy, to be fair. I think
he's a very likable guy, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a likable guy. But then, to be fair, a lot of people say the same about Jake Paul, right? And we'll say, look, he's not fighting credible opponents right now. But to be fair, he's a novice, so can you really expect him to fight people that are, big fighters or people that have credible records at the moment? No, let's be honest, we can't.
Yeah, I don't think he's as likable in the UK though. That's the thing. He doesn't get. Neither of the Paul brothers are very much liked in the UK, I believe. And I don't think it's just a US versus UK type of thing. I think it's just a continuous beef that they've had with a bunch of UK YouTubers, especially KSI and his brother, for example. And so I think that's been the main issue between those two. And sometimes we slip into US versus UK. This is obviously a domestic fight though, this Paul versus Woodley fight. They're both US fighters, aren't they? I believe they are.
Yeah,
so we'll see how this fight goes.
Yeah, it's just saying Logan Paul used to be hated, but he has changed a lot, and now KSI and Logan are boys. Logan is in love, but everyone has respect that the fact that he's changed. But all the UK fans still hate Jake. Yeah, it's all this YouTube drama, and we have no idea really about it. Me and Mohammad, but
I think I know more than you. But I think
of course you do.
I think I used to watch these gaming videos back in the day. I'm still
classic.
Still young. I mean, not anymore, but I know enough to know who the sidemen are and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I know for a lot of friends that used to watch that pretty religiously, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not really for me. But a lot of people did, to be fair.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Who do you think KSI should fight next?
Jake Paul. Why not?
He should fight I think he should fight a YouTuber. I don't think he should fight any professional boxers. It's just too risky for his reputation. He's unnecessary for him to go and take a professional fight against a professional boxer or even an MMA fighter. He could potentially get hurt, and it's best that he just has YouTube fights. And this kind of ties into the fact that obviously Jake Paul, his brother Logan, they just attracted a lot of animosity potentially from UK fans. But at the end of the day, it just generates income, right? Because people want to see it, people want to talk about it. Therefore, that's why we're streaming this, because people actually want to watch this fight, even though these guys are nowhere near the types of fighters that we've previously reviewed and watched. Like we recently did a Pacquiao fight, and you can't put Pacquiao and Jake Paul on a similar scale. It doesn't make any sense. But
But
people
you
want to
can.
watch
That's
this
the
fight.
thing. That's the thing though. Like there's a lot of people saying that at the moment who is the most famous or like the biggest kind of personality in boxing, and people saying it's Jake Paul, and it's people getting annoyed because obviously he hasn't fought anyone credible, as a lot of people are saying. But in terms of actual following and people that actually want to watch him in terms of eyeballs, he is one of them. And that's why, like, at the moment on the panel for BT, they've got Joe
Gosh,
Weller,
Joe
who's a
Weller.
YouTube,
Oh my
he's a
days.
YouTube like creator, right? So it's crazy, and that's his title, and that's where they unfortunately come into it.
People want to watch that, yeah. And he
Yeah,
obviously, I believe his first ever fight was against KSI, which he lost. And
yeah,
that's
and he was
why
pretty
he's
horrific, to be fair.
involved in boxing as well in that sense.
Yeah,
We've got Daniel Dubois on the screen for those of you
yeah.
who watch
Later
professional
showing his
boxing.
highlights. Yeah, anyone who's
um,
interested, yeah.
what do you think of the TTV Zainab 123? What do you think about Adam Saleh and KSI beef? So Adam Saleh is another YouTuber from America. He's, I believe, like an Arab American YouTuber. I don't know too much about their beef. I know Adam Saleh himself has done a few boxing fights, I think for charity,
Yeah,
things like that. So he's got a boxing background as well, to some extent, in an
yeah.
amateur form, I would imagine. I don't know too much about the beef. I assume it's actually not that bad because I don't hear anything really about it nowadays. It might have been something that happened some time back and it's maybe died down. But hey, if they can turn it into money, maybe they can have a fight. Maybe they can have a fight. People would probably pay to watch that. And it might be an appropriate opponent for KSI because I don't think he should fight a professional boxer, like we said. Cryptic. KSI's a good guy, but he's a crap boxer. He's he got a lot of help from his trainer's well known, right? KSI's trainer.
Yeah, not. I mean,
Vidal, right?
he's also a novice, really. I think he's like 10-0 or something, but he's not really fought anyone of note, to be fair. But he's come out of the Floyd Mayweather gym, or was fighting out there. But he's again like he's pretty novice. Like obviously not as much as these guys, but he is a novice, and he's not someone who is just like.
He's not
he
a
can teach someone.
boxer.
Well, he is a professional
I'm
boxer.
talking about KSI, not Vidal.
KSI's
I'm
not.
talking about KSI.
Yeah. We've got about the Adams Seller kind of stuff. Says no one should class KSI as a boxer. Yeah, he's not. He's not. To be honest, Jake Paul is a better boxer technically than KSI. Like levels ahead, he is. Yeah. At the moment, he is because he's taking it seriously, and KSI's doing loads of other stuff. Like Jake Paul genuinely seems like he wants to become a boxer. I mean, he's talking about. I mean, it's crazy, but he's saying like, I'll fight Canelo and stuff, which is just carnage. But as in terms of actual, taking it seriously, he actually is taking it seriously in terms of his training. Like you can't take that away from him.
He is actually super young, to be fair. So he actually
he's 23.
Time. Yeah, he's got time, to be honest.
Got a lot of time.
If you want to take it proper seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed. He's got a lot of time to if he wants to, develop and stuff. I mean, thing is obviously you need to have a certain level of athleticism, but then they have a wrestling background, so the athleticism's there. But it's just okay. Like, do you have power? Blah blah, etc. Like we'll see. Zenem says Adam Seller has dropped off recently. Wasn't that bad, but Adam Seller was calling. Okay, this is just like this is drama. He isn't a rubbish boxer, but he's decent. Deal says for somebody streaming, I'll let you know a deal about that. Cryptic says KSI Adam had some beef. KSI wasn't scared, didn't want to film it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you guys in the chat about that, as I think we've got people walking out. I think it's it's Daniel I think Daniel Dubois' opponent, Casamano, I think his name is, walking out. No idea who that is, by the way. And we're boxing fans, so I think
You don't know his opponent.
no.
That's of course none other than Joe Cusimano,
Yeah,
who
that
is
really well-known
Dubois'
fighter.
opponent. Actually, he's
Yeah.
got 19 wins. So the tail of the tape here. He's got 19 wins, 17 by KO,
Okay.
and just 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his fights have been, I think all of his fights have been domestic fights in the US against US opponents. And to be honest, I think some of his recent fights were against like guys who are like 45 or something. Um, so I don't think he's actually faced proper competition before, to be honest. Although he has gained a knockout high knockout percentage reputation, because I think his knockout percentage according to BoxRec is 77.27%, which is pretty high. 33 years old, orthodox, and then obviously we know who his opponent is. Just to compare the statistics, Dubois 16 wins, 15 by knockout, just 1 loss. We all know who that loss was to.
Joe Joyce. Yep.
Joe Joyce, who, to be honest, given his recent fight, you could argue that Dubois lost to a very, very strong opponent. So it's kind of a test. It's kind of a testament to how good Dubois is as a fighter, to be honest, because his only loss is to Joe Joyce, and that's nothing to be particularly embarrassed about.
No.
Dubois has an 88.24% knockout ratio, so someone's gonna get knocked out. That's my view in this fight, and I have a feeling it's gonna be Joe Cusimano getting knocked out by Dubois. So in comes Dubois right now, looking nice and confident. The Joe Joyce fight far behind in his mind now. He's a new man. He's only 23. Hashtag he's only 23. So I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will do just fine. I'm predicting a knockout in this fight.
Yeah, yeah. Daniel
I'm
Dubois,
predicting
Triple
that
D.
Cusimano will get absolutely knocked.
Yeah,
TF
spark out.
out. Yeah, I mean,
sparked out.
he hasn't fought he hasn't fought class fighters, Cusimano, and although Dubois hasn't necessarily fought the best of the best, he certainly is better than Cusimano in my view. So expect to see quite a quick fight in my view.
Yeah.
TTV Zona 123. Do you guys watch football? We do watch football. We don't stream it.
Yet.
But we watch football. Yet I'm a Liverpool fan, and Fazan is a Chelsea fan, so we had some banter over this weekend.
Yeah.
Lucky escape for Chelsea.
That for Chelsea. Yeah.
Prodigy Ep. Bruh, how is that being scared? Lamau. Love Martha. Adam got clapped, bruh. It's a lot of YouTube chat in the comments. I like it. Keep it going.
Classic. Absolutely classic.
Cryptic, they were about to spar, but KSI got scared. Just referring to the KSI Adam Saleh.
Mate, it's going to go off in the chat.
So a few more stats. Cusimano is 10 years older than Dubois. Same height, 6'4". Weight, Dubois is just 2.5 pounds heavier. He's got a 6-inch reach advantage, Dubois has, and obviously a much stronger record. 6-inch reach advantage. I think this is not going to go past 6 rounds, because Samano's getting knocked out before 6 rounds. And if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong, and I will apologize for doubting Cusimano, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna get knocked the F out.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get sparked up pretty early doors.
Yeah. Adil saying Dubois coming out to that astronaut in the ocean music by Master Wolf.
Lol. I don't know, flipping out. Like he's Mr. No personality though. Daniel Dubois. That's the problem that
Don't
he's
say
got.
that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
He's though. Like
He's
let's
got
be
a
honest.
personality.
Yeah, just not a very good one.
It's not a bad personality.
It's not a bad one. It's just
It's
it's
like
boring.
he's not like an evil guy. He's
No,
just
he's
he's
not. It's
just
not boring.
he's a young man. He's a young man. He's only 23. He's only 23. He's just trying to formulate his personality still.
I don't know. Maybe. But by that age, you kind of I don't know. It's just to be fair, it's not. Let me say this. I don't think he's the type of person that is necessarily going to sell himself well. So he needs, like Joe Joyce has Sam Jones. I feel like he needs someone like that. He needs a mouthpiece who's going to help him out. Obviously, has his
Or
best
he just
interest at
keeps
heart.
knocking people out until eventually people start to recognize his
No, but
knockout
it's not
power.
enough. It's not enough anymore. It's not enough. I hate to say it, but it's not like you. That's why people like Jake Paul and stuff are able to get this type of following in boxing, is because yes, they garner the interest,
He
but you have to
transferred
have
his YouTube. I mean,
yeah, of
it's
course, but
not
you
the
need to
same.
transcend the sport, though. You need to transcend the sport nowadays. You
I
can't. It's
guess,
not.
yeah.
Not just knocking out people is not enough. There's loads of
I
people who are fantastic boxers, but
I
no one
like
cares.
Dubois, despite his personality. I feel sorry for him sometimes. Maybe he's got anxiety when it comes to public speaking or something. I don't bloody know. But
Maybe he
maybe
does.
he's not the type of showman type to let his mouth run wild. At the end of the day, I
Hmm.
like the fact that people can just box. It's what boxing is about, just being able to box. You don't have to run your mouth all the time. But I totally understand what you're saying in terms of entertainment value and all that kind of jazz. I I liked watching Dubois when he fought Joe Joyce, even though he lost. But
Oh my god! Big
all
right
right,
hand straight
off
away
they
down
go.
and missed it. Oh, this Kusamana guy's trying to throw a big overhand right early
Yeah,
doors.
completely misses. Wild miss. I don't think Cusmano's realized he's in with that. He's in with a beast right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you see, well, getting tied up right now. Referee's gonna have to come in and break that up. Dubois coming
Oh,
forward.
good right hand by Kusamano.
I just
Doesn't
saw
seem like
that
he's
as
got much
well.
power
Good right
though.
hand, yeah. It's good right hand. Dubois needs to watch out for those.
Hmm.
Surprising how easily he managed to land that right hand, but Dubois looks like he's looking for a knockout, to be fair, already. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
He
coming
does.
forward, throwing punches and bunches right now. A few overhand right, and there you go. Kusamano already on the floor. Dubois just landed an overhand right.
Oh
Kusamano's
my
already
god.
on the floor, and there's 1 minute 50 left of this first round. I believe we're looking at a first round knockout right now. It ain't gonna
Yeah.
go the distance,
No,
certainly
it's
not.
not. He's gonna
Guy
go for
just
the
took
kill.
an overhand right, which probably didn't even land that
No,
succinctly.
I didn't like it look
Dubois
that
now
flush.
absolutely swarming Kusamano. He wants to
Oh,
have an absolute show reel of a knockout, taking him into the corner right now, throwing punches and bunches of right hand land and a left hook. Oh, going
he's
upstairs.
tough.
Kusamano managing to
Oh no,
hold
he's
on
not.
right now,
He's
but
not
Dubois coming forward with a left and a right, and the right
done.
takes Kusamano down. And Kusamano is currently on
Oh
one
my
knee,
god.
6, 7, 8, 9, and he just
That's all she
about
wrote,
got up
folks.
with
Oh,
1 minute remaining of this
oh,
first
it's
round.
over.
Kusamano's been dropped already twice. What an embarrassing
He's just swinging for the hills,
situation.
to be fair. Oh,
And
that's it.
Dubois
Done.
coming forward again, and several combinations, hooks thrown, and the referee has ended the fight. 3 knockdowns. That's all she wrote. 48 seconds left of the first round, and Dubois wins by, I assume, was that referee ended it? So was it TKO? Did you
TKO.
say? Yeah,
TKO. Yeah.
TKO first round. Very embarrassing for Kusamano. We did call it. Wasn't gonna last more than 6 rounds.
No.
Move on to the next fight.
Look
Nothing
at
to see
that.
here.
Nothing to see. I mean, it's exactly what we expected, wasn't it? It was someone for Daniel Dubois to knock out. I mean, he doesn't have a horrific record or anything, but hasn't particularly fought anyone of note. Because Samano, Daniel
Change the old
Dubois.
banner, eh?
Yeah, go for it. And Daniel Dubois. You can just edit that one, by the way, if you want.
Um,
Just go to edit that one, I'd say, and then just add it in. But Daniel Dubois. I mean, look, he's got power, man. He's got power. That's the thing. And that, you know, he's got almost elite power in terms of being an elite boxer. No, not yet. He's got a bit of way to go, but he's got very big power. So anyone that gets in there will feel it. And if you're not good enough and you don't move your head enough and you're not elusive enough, don't have a good enough jab, then that's it. Like it's going to be over. Chris says Adams a decent. Oh, this is about the KSI Adam thing. Adil says Dubois KO win. What are your lots prediction on Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley? I reckon Jake Paul's going to knock him out, unfortunately. I say unfortunately
agree.
because I just, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like Jake Paul might be good for the sport in terms of getting eyeballs on it, but in terms of like personality, he's yet to grow on me. Easy work, as Mohammad says in the banner for Dan Dubois. But yeah,
super easy.
Yeah,
super easy.
Yeah. Horace says, when is the main event? I think it's supposed to be at like 4:30, so UK time, which is like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that.
Can you imagine your warm up lasted less than, I mean, the fight itself? Like, can you, like, he spent
how Mike
like
Tyson
a minute
felt.
and a half, 3 knockdowns. It's really, really good for his confidence, Dubois, as well, which I'm happy about, because obviously he got such a knock in his confidence after the Joe Joyce fight.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see. It's nice to see him knock out this guy who we didn't have much respect for anyway, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, it just shows
he's
you
not a bum. You can't just call him a bum.
I didn't call him a bum. I just said we didn't have that much respect for him.
That's what you were thinking.
You said it, not me. But no, I'm happy to see Dubois knock him out like this.
Yeah.
Well
Cryptic says, bro, Dubois is actually a great prospect, speed power. Yeah, I mean, of course he is. That's why Frank Warren here in the UK, one of the promoters, picked him up because, and has basically just overlooked his career because he thought he was going to be like the next Anthony Joshua. Obviously, has had that hiccup and he's not on the same trajectory yet still. I mean, look, he's still a very good prospect. He's still very young, but he's still very rough, I think, around the edges and needs to be refined. And Shane McGuigan's a good coach, so let's see what we can do with him, who's his trainer.
Yeah.
Stone Mason says, hey, love the tennis vids. Thanks, Stone. Was surprised to see you covering the pool fight, but definitely excited. Yeah, so I mean, if you are relatively new to the channel, which I think you are, Stone Mason, thanks for joining. Obviously, you would have seen the tennis vids, but we cover boxing on here as well. Especially, primarily live streams and also a few other vids. Mohammad here he's been the chief commentator, as you can see. So yeah, do check them out if you're interested in some boxing stuff as well. And thank you for joining us and like the video. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining currently who has, and for commenting. Please do like and subscribe, and feel free to comment as well. We really appreciate it. Helps to grow the channel.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, I wonder how much delay there will be between this and the next fight, but I suspect the next fight will be the Serrano-Mercado fight before the main one, I think.
Yeah, and Serrano, I think, obviously you haven't seen her yet. I've seen some highlights really. She's supposed to fight Katie Taylor, I think, next if she wins this fight. Obviously, Katie Taylor's got a fight as well. That'll be a really, really good fight. But we're going to see, I guess, what she's about after. Dan Dubois, though, I mean, looks pretty. I mean, he's just look, job done. I think he was probably expecting to get the first round knockout. You can see he's a bit of an Adonis as well, a bit like Anthony Joshua, Dan Dubois, but he's obviously a lot younger. But he definitely wants to. What's he saying? Is he?
No, I'm just laughing at the fact that I don't know. I find Ariel Hawani a funny interviewer, to be honest. He's more well known in the MMA world, as you know.
Yeah, he's a UFC guy, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Also,
it's just nice seeing Daniel Dubois smiling. He's got a very youthful. I think he's got a very youthful personality, Daniel Dubois. Potentially, he just comes across as quite. Well, he's young anyway, isn't he? But he just comes across quite a young guy.
Well, yeah, he's kind of been sheltered his whole life, not necessarily a bad way, just because
he seems introverted. He seems like an introvert, which is fine.
But that's because his whole life has been built around boxing. So his dad his dad basically just said, "Look, you're going to be a boxer," and he basically lives, breathes boxing down in Dubai. I think he didn't have a phone until recently. He
Wow.
is like genuinely just absolutely being dedicated to the sport of boxing down in Dubai, and that's why the loss to Joe Joyce I think was so devastating because he's someone who literally that's all he cares about is boxing, nothing else. He's not like the typical young boxer who's always on social media. Everyone does it for him. I don't think he's on social media at all. And obviously
Yeah.
now he's gone. He's realized. I mean, we need to be a bit more of a a bit more outspoken, etc. And he said some kind of weird stuff in the presser and the lead up to the Joe Joyce fight. And I think he's kind of realized after that it's a learning experience that actually maybe I need to be myself a little bit and develop a little bit myself, which is interesting.
I think they probably pressured him to trash talk in that fight, and
Yeah,
maybe it
agreed.
wasn't something that naturally came to him, and it's perfectly fine if it's something that naturally doesn't come to him. So he should just be himself, as you're suggesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he looks very
Um,
happy. I think obviously for a guy who
hmm,
bases his whole life around boxing, if he wins the fight, he's probably completely on top of the moon.
yeah.
So
Adil says Jake Paul will win Woodley. We'll go straight at Jake, but will be too much for Woodley to handle. Could go Woodley's way if you saw what happened. Jake says something about Woodley's mum. Did he? I don't think
the
it was him.
purses.
I thought it was someone else from the
No,
team. I don't
no,
think it
yeah.
was him.
So,
I don't think it
well,
was
I
Jake Paul.
remember Ariel Hawani saying something like they talked about your mum or something.
Yeah,
So
but
there was
Jake Paul.
some
But
talking about someone's mum.
yeah, but I think we got to clarify it. So it wasn't Jake Paul because he actually said like to be fair to him. I say to be fair to him, but it should be a pretty natural reaction. Like you don't talk about people's mums. I think he said I wasn't up for that, and I think his mum and actually Tyron Woodley's mum was sitting together at the press conference. It was actually some of Jake Paul's hanger oners
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
who
you're
are
right. It's
who
one of his crew.
like basically who were just they took it too far and they were trying to be whatever, they were just messing about and they're being idiots basically, and then got a bit out of control, but it wasn't that basically. And so Woodley and Jake don't like each other, but it's not because of that. And Stomach says, you think Logan Paul will ever fight again? Maybe he'll fight Floyd Mayweather again. Maybe I'll knock him out. No, I'm joking. But Logan Paul probably will, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Jake
Yeah,
Paul says he
probably
wants to
will.
fight his own brother, so that would be a classic, won't it? Imagine if they fought each other, but I don't think they will. I think he's probably just. I can see Logan Paul doing exhibition fights now and then instead of Jake Paul. Obviously, seems to want to fight professionally. I think Logan Paul's not going to do it professionally. I don't think. I think he's got his own podcast and stuff now, and like he just does his own thing, doesn't he? He's more of a businessman than anything. I think Logan Paul, which is fair enough. And
He's
again, like he seems to have less talent than Jake Paul boxing wise.
a
I think.
strange guy. The last tweets is him trying to sell NFTs. He seems quite heavy in the crypto world as well.
He's a very in like he's a I think underrated person in terms of his intellect. I think he's actually a lot smarter than people think. Logan Paul,
Oh, he's making
if
loads
you
of money
seriously,
as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, by the way, love the vids. I can't get enough tennis. Go Noel, nice one, go Noel, indeed. Yeah, thanks guys as well for tuning in. Please do remember to smash the like button to this video. It really does help us out. I do appreciate it. Obviously, it's free and it doesn't cost you anything. So any help in that is really great appreciated. And let's try and get as many likes up on the video, because what it will do is it will help this video get out there to more people, and then we can get more people in the chat, get some more interesting discussions going, and a bit some debates maybe as we get closer to the main fight, and that's what we want, right? We want a big audience in the chat, so that we can talk. If you want to talk Jake Paul on YouTube, then go for it, but unboxing as well. They're just showing the replay for the knockout, which came basically via just power from Daniel Dubois. It wasn't just one shot; it was a couple of shots. But I think the right hand through the middle from Daniel Dubois is a weapon, and he's got a big jab as well. He's just got power on both hands. To be fair, Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, I mean, He ate a bunch of stuff going down Cusimano as well. So yeah, I mean he had no chance. It's a bit
Yeah.
embarrassing to be fair. I mean, don't know what's next for Cusimano, but I think he'll need a few more domestic US fights. Probably.
I mean, let's be honest. He's been put in there as an opponent, right? So, it just
I
is what
don't
it is.
know if it almost comes across more as a tune-up fight than an opponent, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. As in, he's in there to get beat, right? I mean, that's what it is. He's in there to get beat. And
He's
that's
in there
exactly
to get beat.
he is. That's why they picked him. Yeah,
Imagine your sole job is to go in there and just get beaten up.
but
No, I don't know. For someone who's got 19 wins and 3 losses, unless maybe he's been
yeah, but
developing his
who are
professional
those
career
wins
all his
against though?
life just to be a tune-up fight that looks good on paper.
But like, what's his name? They had Christopher Lovejoy had like a 19-0 record, but he fought absolutely no one. Like,
Yeah,
it depends
yeah.
who are those wins against. A record is
It's
so
embarrassing. To be honest, it's embarrassing.
yeah. So that's what I mean. So a record is, like, we can't take too much from a record unless you have to look deeper into it. Like, records can be very misleading,
Yeah.
very, very misleading. So Mason says, what time do you think the fight will be
Wow.
going on? The fight will be, I think, is going on in like an hour, just over an hour. I think I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what I've
it'll
got
be.
it. And Hara says, CR7 homecoming, very good. Yep, yeah. Obviously, big up all the Man United fans out there. Obviously, very happy about Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sure, as well. You lucky mother flippers. But yeah, he's home, as they'd like to say. I don't know if he's actually home, but yeah, don't know where home is for him. Somewhere in Portugal, I'm sure. Horace says 5 a.m. man, 5 a.m. Maine. He's saying okay, so that's a bit over an hour and a half, whatever,
5
40 or
a.m. But they need to isn't it just one fight left and then the main?
yeah.
How long are they gonna squeeze? Like, you know why? They were thinking that this was gonna be some idiot thought this was gonna be a 12-round fight or something.
I think they
Obviously,
have
it's
to.
not going to be.
I think they have to.
So now
What's the
it's
word?
like for the next half an hour, they just have to talk about the main fight probably. So you got the big man Fury currently on in the panel
Yeah,
right
John
now.
Fury. Yeah, Tommy Fury and Tyson Fury's dad. He's quite funny. He'll be. I cannot. To be
He
fair,
should
like,
get into a fight as well. That'd be good.
can I say something though? Like, I would love to hear him speak about the Jake Paul fight after it's happened and stuff. But I can't listen to it because we're on the stream, obviously. But
You have to be,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll listen to it after the stream for sure. So he says, what sports do you cover? We cover tennis, boxing, and also cricket as well. Hart says, did Tommy call out Jake? Yeah, he did. Thoughts on England's dominant performance? No cricket chat here, Horace, unfortunately, because I'm trying to keep it to boxing. Unless I was going to alienate all the boxing fans.
Unless Harris is referring to Dubois' performance against the American.
No, he's not. He's
Um,
not. Here's wishful thinking. That's not what it is. Yeah, I think. I don't know, like, it's interesting because Denon Dubois now, I think, is in a position where he is going to be made mandatory, I think, for the WBA title. But realistically, he's not going to get that fight against whoever. Well, I say whoever, but it'll be probably against Joshua or Usyk at the moment, because obviously they're fighting next. Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, and Anthony Joshua is someone who obviously, if he wins that, he's going to be going and fighting Tyson Fury. So I don't think Daniel Dubois is going to get his shot for at least, I'd say, a year and a half, potentially 2 years.
yeah.
But what that actually means is probably a good thing for him, because he can continue to develop, because he's not ready for those guys.
He's not
man.
ready. He's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready. He needs someone like he needs to step up from Cusimano. He definitely needs someone a bit more challenging. So We'll see. We'll see who that person is, though. Do you have anyone in mind?
For who? For a
Dubois.
step up?
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of people. I mean, he could fight. I mean, to be honest with you, someone like Derek Chisora is
Yeah.
fantastic. Like that's a really, really good test. Obviously, um, I don't know. Like, would Derek Chisora take it? I don't know. Like, it's kind of like a low. It's a low reward, high risk fight.
Ortiz, if he hasn't retired yet.
Yeah, Ortiz is not a bad shout as well. Obviously, um,
Maybe even Huey. If you wanted to fight Huey Fury, it might be an interesting fight.
yeah, Huey Fury, that's a good shout as well. I mean, I think to be fair to Huey Fury, Huey Fury would take it as well. He'd take it in a heartbeat because obviously, if you beat Daniel Dubois, then you rocket up in the WBA rankings, right? Because at the moment he has got something that people want. It's not like, what do you have for me? He does have stuff. He's clearly got the ranking, which will help a lot. So I think a lot of people will be interested in that, and I'm sure they'll be looking to fight him if the deal is right. But someone like Chisora, I can't see. I think he'll price himself out. But Takam is a good shout as well. But Takam obviously fought Joe Joyce recently and
Yeah,
gave
and he
Joe
looked
Joyce
pretty
problems.
good. Yeah. So
Yeah,
why
so
not?
that's not a bad, and then he can Dan Dubois, I think, wants that rematch at some point in his career. So
Yeah.
if he does, then I guess fighting someone like Takam is a good yardstick to show, well, this is where I'm at. I'm
Yes.
still at the same level as you, or better, and
Yeah.
as comparable.
Dominic Brazil, if you remember, he was almost
Yeah,
like a Joshua tune-up fight, to be honest.
yeah, he was. Yeah,
He would
so
be a good
I
one.
got completely floored by, got completely destroyed by Deontay Wilder in one round as well.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
these are all good. Even our good friend Agit Caballo, although I think he'd be tough
yeah,
potentially. If you remember our discussion
yeah.
on Agit a few months ago, he's actually
AJ.
still looking pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah,
AJ Caballo's got 21 wins, 0 losses. Although who has he really fought? He fought Chisora. That's it. I don't see anyone
yeah.
else that's necessarily that
No,
notable. But
no.
he's one to watch potentially.
Yeah, he's still pretty young, I think, as well. Hart says, I see Dubois eventually fighting White. That would be a really good fight. I mean, Dylan White is, I think, still too. He's too good at the moment for Dan Dubois. Dan Dubois still has a long way to go. Amanda Serrano versus I forgot what her name is, to be honest with you, but
Yamileth Mercado.
yes, Mercado. That's it. Yeah, so Mercado making her way out to the ring first. It's for, if I'm not mistaken, it's for like quite a few belts, if I'm not mistaken.
WBC, WBO, and IBO featherweight
Yeah,
titles.
yeah. I mean, IBO means nothing to me, to be fair. So I think it's whatever.
IBO.
IBO means absolute rub. Well, it just means nothing, to be honest with you. But like AJ's got the IBO belt, but they never talk about it because he's got 3 legitimate belts. So they're fighting for 2 legitimate belts here. So it's a unification bout.
Yamileth looking
Mexican,
very confident right now,
yeah,
coming
she
out,
is.
just giving everyone the spud.
Yeah, spud. Yeah, I like that. I like that confidence. She's full of energy. She doesn't like she's there to just get beat. She's there to,
She looks very happy. I've never seen
yeah.
someone so happy coming into a boxing
Yeah,
fight with you.
hopefully, she's not just happy about getting a payday and she actually wants to win.
No. I mean, by that point, I mean the payday's already happened. I mean, I would
Payday? You
imagine.
want payday? I know that.
No. Yamileth ain't just coming for payday.
Payday's
She's young. She's young. She's
Canelo.
hungry, I'm sure, but I do think Serrano. Just based on the statistics, you've seen Serrano fight, but based on the statistics, Serrano is probably gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah.
do do
Horace
Yamileth
says,
in, to be honest.
what gloves is Jake using? No idea. I mean, we'll find out, I guess, when he comes to fight. But I'd assume that he'll probably take a puncher's glove, so a glove that is good for someone who punches pretty hard. Horace says this is the last fight before Jake. Yep, it is. It is. So do not go anywhere. Hopefully, it won't be too long until the main fight. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
And in comes Serrano right now, who is also just enjoying the ring entrance as well. Also very happy.
The thing is, right, is that you have to remember, and I know this is quite sad to say, but it's the truth, is that a lot of these female fighters, they're not paid a huge amount, and they would have got huge paydays for this fight. So she, like Amanda Serrano, for example,
Is
she's
on
probably
a
got her
mad one right
yeah,
now.
she would have got her biggest payday from this fight, is what she's getting. But mate, it must be the music. We can't hear it,
The
obviously.
music
But
must be absolutely banging right now.
yeah,
Hailing
fair
out
enough.
of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Both countries producing a number of very well-known boxers, and it's going to be a brawl, I'm sure. When you put Puerto Rican in versus a Mexican, there's gonna be a brawl, I'm sure. It's gonna be
It's gonna be a good
gonna
fight.
be maybe a slugfest, but I don't know what their style is, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. She a bit of a slugger, Serrano, or what? She's got 71% KO ratio there. That's really high.
She's a bit like Crawford. She's calculated,
okay.
but she's
Calculated,
she's a good
but
fighter.
stinging punches.
Stinging to the balls, as Amir Khan would say, to be honest.
Can we go a stream without you mentioning Amir Khan?
Why? What's wrong with Amir Khan? Why you don't like him?
He's just not. He's not in boxing right now. He's just not there.
He is. He's fighting Kell Brook next, mate. It's happening. Trust me.
He's not. No, he's not.
What? You don't think so?
Oh, where's the announcement? Have you got inside information?
Yeah, you are your fake boxing fan. No, it's not official, but it's like it's official. It's official. They're in talks.
There's an update. Yeah, I mean they're in talks, but I'm sure it'll happen. To be fair, it'll happen.
Yeah, I think it will happen as well.
Chihuahua, Mexico, and Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, interesting.
Yep.
So, tell of the tape. I guess a few things to note here is that Mercado is nearly 10 years younger there. Weight is the same. Height more or less the same. Serrano's got about 3 inches of more reach. And that's about it in terms of comparisons between these two. I don't know. Will age versus experience? I feel like experience is going to be relevant. 32 is not particularly old, to be honest. And Serrano's got so many wins under her belt. I have a feeling Serrano's probably going to win this. But we'll see. We'll see what the nature of the fight is going to be. Is it going to go the distance? Someone going to get knocked out? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, what the old saying, styles make fights, and sometimes someone can have a style that just troubles you, and even though they're not necessarily as skilled. So it'll be interesting to see whether she's got one that maybe gives Amanda Serrano fits, potentially, which could happen. Obviously, we've seen it with better fighters as well, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think if I'm not mistaken, she's like a 7-weight world champion. Amanda Serrano, something ridiculous. So she's absolutely crazy, to be honest with you, to think about. Like, that's just very, very impressive from the Puerto Rican fighter. She's also got a sister, by the way, not quite as good though. She's won some world titles, but she's not as impressive as Amanda Serrano. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they're twins or not, but they're maybe unidentical twins. I think they're the same age. I could be wrong. Where we go, they're jumping up and down, clapping. Like, yeah, that's it. We're doing this. We're going to fight. You are going to fight. I hope so. It's kind of the point of this whole thing. Get on with it. It's interesting though. They could definitely cut down some of the stuff in boxing. Like, it just takes so long to just get them out. Then
I guess. I mean, it's entertainment. It's entertainment, isn't it? I mean, You need ring walks. That's one thing. Who doesn't like a good ring walk?
No, I think you need ring
And
walks,
then
yeah. But
announcements, you have to announce them. That makes sense. Anthems, some people love that. Some people love the anthems. And then you got to mention their records. I think that what bits would you take out?
I don't know. It's got to be something though. Like
What bit would you take
I
out of
don't
all of
know,
that?
man. I don't know. It's just it's a good point. I don't know, like maybe if they, like when they're walking to the ring, I just feel like they're so slow. Like they're just like they're just like they're really really second. I'm just like,
They're
come
getting into it.
on.
They're getting into it. That's the thing. I mean, psychological as well. Some people used to use their ring walks
Actually, you know
in
what they should
boxing
do?
to
I
annoy
know.
their opponent.
This is what
You
they
know,
should do. When they announce them for the ring walk, they should give their record then, and then they have the music playing. And then I feel like
just to
that cuts
save
out
a
the
few
time.
seconds. This guy. All
Oh,
right, all right.
right, here we go. Finally going to get to the fight. Come on.
All righty. Serrano versus Mercado.
Yep.
See how this goes. All right, round one is off.
Southpaw as well. Amanda Serrano.
Yeah.
Already flipping egg.
Yeah, Serrano seems to be the aggressor right now, walking Mercado down.
Very
Mercado doing a
sharp.
good job of trying to stay out of reach though, and both fighters kind of tying themselves up, but kind of making their way out. Serrano again coming forward. Nice jab, landed by Serrano there.
Oh, a big left hook missed. Amanda Serrano just looks so sharp. Thing is, they're super featherweights. So
Yeah.
they're gonna be damn quick.
Super speedy stuff. Yeah.
She's very, very sharp.
Yeah.
See Amanda Serrano as well, southpaw. So she's got a bit of boxing, she's a boxer fighter really.
Well, a few wild hooks thrown by Mercado there.
Oh, and Amanda Serrano just counterpunching, isn't she? And counterpunching really effectively, like to the body.
Nice shot
and
to the body.
head.
Yeah.
She's just kind of waiting for Mercado to lunge in, and then she's just
Coming back with a
counterpunching
quick
really
counter.
nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there you go. And the count she's countering with in
nice
some
right
instances
hook.
and she's countering in some
front.
instances with multiple punches, isn't she as well? So that's shows I think the golfing class already in that first round in terms of like Mercado trying to be aggressive and come forward, and then Serrano saying, "Okay, you can come forward and be aggressive. I'm going to counter you," and countering her really well. So impressive stuff there.
Probably give that to Serrano just simply based on activity.
Agreed. Hard to disagree with that.
Mercado hasn't been bad though on the back foot. She's been fine. She hasn't looked significantly under pressure.
No.
Looks very switched on, but Serrano I think landed a few more punches and walking Mercado down. So just naturally looks better. All right, second round is off. Serrano with a jab to I think the jab to the body there. Another jab to the body by Serrano. And Serrano continued to walk Mikado down. Mikado coming back. Oh, but Serrano throwing a bunch of combinations there to the body. Really fast hands. And I just feel as if maybe Mikado's potentially wasn't expecting such fast hands from Serrano. I mean, she seems to be throwing at a much quicker pace.
Yeah.
Making Mikado look quite slow.
Yeah, she gets a lot sharper, doesn't she, Amanda Serrano?
A nice left hook by Serrano. Although I see some bruising under Serrano's eye, potentially. Serrano continuing to walk Mikado down. Yeah, I mean, fight is not really. Fight is not really connecting very much, to be honest, in the last few.
Yeah, it hasn't
seconds
set
of
on
that
fire,
round,
has
yeah.
it?
Yeah, no, it's a bit awkward. It might just be because of the styles being different as well.
Talking to Jake Paul in the changing rooms, and he's all tatted
Yo, that
up.
is a cool belt, though.
Mate, his belt has got Jake
that
Paul as like
belt
a
is
robot belt.
dope.
See, this is what I mean. This is why, right? People think, hold on.
No one's ever. Has anyone ever done that?
I don't think so.
That belt is really smart. It's like it's like an advertisement.
Yeah.
Like it's like got a roles like script thing.
Yeah, it's like
really good.
what we've got on the stream now at the bottom.
Yeah,
He's got it on his shorts.
That's a great belt. That's actually a really good belt.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
they should. I'm sure boxers will start copying that.
Yeah, probably. That's what I mean.
Good way of getting
trend setting, eh? Yeah. Adil says, "What if Tyson Fury comes in? The BT studio announces Wilder fight will take place sooner than they expected. We talk about that for 20 or so minutes, and they talk about the main event, put on videos of Woodley and Jake fights. I mean, it's not going to happen earlier, mate. So unfortunately, Fury Wilder, like, in fact, if anything, it'll happen later than the original date, as we've noticed, because keeps on getting postponed even. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure they'll have something to talk about.
Ricardo just attempting an uppercut there that misses, but Serrano throwing a nice number of jabs. Nice right jab thrown by Serrano, and a nice hook, and a nice jab again thrown by Serrano. Nice 1-2 thrown by Serrano as well. And decent overhand left thrown by Mikado, though. He's trying to go to the body. And nice overhand left thrown by Mikado. Oh, nice number of overhand lefts there thrown by Mikado. Find a lot of success with those overhand lefts. And Mikado coming back with some good punches of her own.
Yeah, she's a live fighter, isn't she? Yeah.
Serrano continuing to walk Mikado down, and you just feel as if someone's going to get caught with something quite heavy in these exchanges. Oh, nice overhand, a nice hook, right hook thrown by Serrano there. So 10 seconds left of this third round.
There you go.
It's a pretty even round. I've probably got Serrano up by 1.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Same.
But I have a feeling someone's gonna get caught during these left and right hooks, these quick left and right hooks being thrown. Someone's gonna get caught.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think this will go the 12. It's a 12-round fight, isn't it? I don't think this will go
Yeah.
the full 12
No,
rounds.
it'll be 10.
It's a 10-round fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
women's fight, it's all 10.
I don't think it'll go the full distance. We'll see. But I just have a feeling someone's going to get caught with something quite heavy in the process of these two fighters exchanging.
Yeah, so they're 10 minutes. They're 2 minute, 10 minutes. Sorry, 2 minute 10 rounds. So so 10 rounds of 2 minutes each, rather than 12 rounds of 3 minutes in the men's. That's a slight difference between the two. There has been talks about women fighting 3 minute rounds, but I think some are for it, some are against it. So it's kind of like a talking point.
Fourth round on the way.
Yeah.
Both fighters adopting the middle of the ring currently, although Serrano, as per usual, starting to come forward a bit more. Though not really walking Mercado down as much as the initial 3 rounds, to be perfectly honest. Seems to be happy to exchange more or less in the middle of the ring. Mercado trying to come forward with a few punches of her own, but eating a straight right hand thrown by Serrano. And it seems like every time Mercado is trying to come in, close the distance and throw combinations, she's met with a stiff right hand.
Yeah, she is. She is. I think Mercado's getting a better gauge of Amanda Serrano and her patterns. So they're going to have to
Nice shot to
both
the
be a bit
body
more
by
unpredictable in their patterns of fighting at the moment. Or they go both trying to jab at the same time. Just as a shout out to you all on Quality Shot for streaming these fights. For example, write your names on the corner of your video so we know who, or even a new member knows who's who. Yeah, sure. Look, there you go. It's there. I just need to remove the comment, and we're right here. But yeah, no problem.
Oh, nice shot to the body thrown by Serrano there. Another nice shot to the body, but Mercado coming back with a few hooks.
Oh, yeah.
And nice bit of inside fighting. Oh, a nice right hand thrown by Mercado
Yeah.
to end that round.
I reckon that actually was quite a good end of the round in terms of for Amanda Serrano for it to end, because she was not going to be in huge amount of trouble, but Mercado was backing up against the ropes and was having success. So a little bit fortunate for it to end there. Where Mercado seems to have, I don't know if it's bruising or slight cut underneath her eye.
She does, and I think Serrano also had a bit of bruising under her eye potentially. But
And it's
we'll have another look at that. But yes,
they're
there's
showing
the
it from
right.
a right
There's the
uppercut.
short. Yeah, there's the right. So she has got a bit of a cut there.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I've got Serrano maybe just up by 1 still, maybe 2 if I'm being generous. But
the rounds go so quickly, don't they?
they do, yeah.
In the women's fights, because as I said, they're only 2 minutes, so it's just carnage.
Round 5 of 10.
Yeah.
Serrano with a quick 1-2. Both fighters just in the middle of the ring, nothing really being thrown right now, quite a few feints.
Yeah.
Oh, Mercado coming forward with, was that a double jab she just tried to throw?
Yeah.
Serrano with a 1-2 that is relatively ineffective there. Yeah, Mercado's certainly trying to close the distance. I always find she's trying to leap forward.
Yeah.
And Serrano always seems to be comfortable waiting for Mercado to come in and throwing at her as she tries to lean forward.
Yeah, I think Serrano definitely with the more quality work.
Nice left hook thrown by Serrano there.
Yeah, definitely the more quality work, I think, from Serrano so far in this fight.
Yeah.
But obviously neither really hurting the other yet. Mikado with only 5 KOs from 18 fights, you'd imagine that she's not really going to hurt Serrano, but she's a pressure fighter. Serrano does have power, clearly. 30 knockouts from 40 fights, so 75%
Oh,
KO ratio.
such a good, strong right hand thrown by Serrano there. It's quite
Yeah,
eye-catching stuff. I think Serrano's definitely done enough to win this round. And
100%. Yeah,
she
yeah.
backs Mikado into the ropes and lands quite a few body shots in the process. I've got Serrano up by 2.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's really strong round at the end there from Amanda Serrano in this co-main event, and Amanda Serrano just looked extremely busy and threw a lot of shots that landed and big shots as well. So good round for Amanda Serrano there.
Just a few slow-mos being shown right now
Yeah,
of
body work's really good, isn't it?
quite a few body shots thrown there by Serrano. Backing Mikado up against the ropes and landing those body shots, which I'm sure will have an impact on Mikado
Yeah,
as this fight progresses into the latter rounds.
agreed.
Mikado's corner just given her some encouragement before this next round begins. And round number 6 of 10 is underway. Serrano will probably be quite confident given the end of that last round. Maybe she'll try and continue to pressure Mikado, throw a few power punches. And yeah, Serrano doing a good job of just closing the distance there. Mikado finds herself against the ropes again, but pushes her away. Pushes forward into Serrano and then takes the middle of the ring. I don't think Mikado is very comfortable being backed against the ropes. And
No.
Serrano's doing a good job of pressuring Mikado around the ring and trying to close the distance and cut off the ring. And again, Mikado finds herself in the corner. And again, Mikado pushes her way out of the corner. I don't know whether the referee's going to allow that. She keeps trying to just push her head into Serrano. And
Yeah.
Serrano landing, a nice left and right hook. Or another right thrown by Serrano. Serrano coming forward again. Nice body shot. Left body shot thrown by Serrano. You just feel as if Serrano's thrown these punches with a bit more power compared to the previous punches she's been throwing. Or another short left followed by a right. There you go. Round's already finished. I think I've got Serrano up by 3. Mikado wasn't really doing very much in that particular round. I think she was backed up quite a lot, and she felt very uncomfortable being backed up against the ropes and left herself exposed to quite a few hooks.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, 100%.
So
Hard to
yeah,
disagree.
Serrano up by 3, I think.
Yeah, I think Serrano's she's boxing well, isn't she? Just quality work from a quality fighter at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. A deal. Liverpool to AC Milan, Atletico Madrid. Who's gonna win Group Champions League? Liverpool. I agree. Yeah, I think that's a decent draw for Liverpool in terms of football chat. It's a decent draw. I think,
Yeah,
to be fair, all the English clubs got a decent, generally speaking, a decent draw. So it might be the same whether everyone just progresses again this year, but we'll see. All right, round 7 of 10 is underway. And can Serrano finish this, or is it going to go to points?
Yeah, I've got a feeling it might go to points. Mercado looks pretty tough.
And to be honest, there's no real pressure on Serrano to. Serrano might know that she's comfortably winning this on points, so
Yeah,
maybe there's no need to try and go for the knockout.
that's true as well.
Maybe a corner will tell her just keep the pressure on her. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job, and just make sure you don't leave yourself exposed to any silly
Agreed.
punches. Nice right hand thrown by Serrano there.
Artemis Logic says, "Is this a new overlay since last time I was here?" I don't
Hey
think so.
Artemis,
I think it's the same one. But thanks for joining, Artemis.
we might have had another overlay. To be fair, I think we
Oh,
had
really?
one where we had one is the boxing gloves and the other one is the ring, the dark
was
ring
it?
in the
Was it
background.
this
Yeah, it
one?
might have been that one.
Oh no. Fair enough.
And yeah, Serrano again putting lots of pressure on Mercado right now
Yeah.
as 30 seconds remain of this 7th round.
Yeah, and Artemis saying knockouts in women's boxing are much harder because the round's only 2 minutes. So obviously, it's kind of very quick, and it takes them it takes most boxers about 30 seconds to get warmed up into a round normally, and then it leaves you with like a minute and a half, and then obviously you don't have people getting tied in rounds as much because the rounds are shorter. But yeah, thanks for joining, Artemis.
Nice right
I know
hand.
you're on the previous
Nice
stream with
left to
Mohammad.
the
So
body. Yeah, nice to see you, Artemis. Thanks for joining. And a nice number of body shots thrown by
yeah.
Serrano there. And Mercado just looking very frustrated. It might have been because she thought that some of those punches were after the bell. But it might just be her general frustration.
I think
That
she was more
she's
just
taken so
acknowledging.
much
Yeah, I think she was more
damage.
just acknowledging that look, Amanda like Serrano was hitting a flush in the last few seconds, like a couple of really good left hooks, etc.
Oh, very, very good.
I was gonna say,
You can tell from her facial expression, Mikhailo, that she
yeah,
doesn't think she's winning this. I got Serrano up
no.
by 4.
Yeah, same. I think she's got an unassailable lead now, and it's just only a knockout can change it. Artemis says, "I'm only here because I got banned from another Discord." Lol. What Discord did you get banned from, Artemis? Let us know. It's so interesting. Like I don't know 100. I don't know a lot about a Discord. But I was thinking of whether we should get it for the channel. But I don't know.
I know about Discord. It's just a like a voice chat
Okay.
app basically. Yeah. You set up a group on there, and people can join and be members, and then you have little lobbies, and people can just join those lobbies and chat if they want, or they can share their screen and things like that.
Okay.
People use it for gaming.
Okay.
But people can use it for other things as well. So they use it for loads of different things.
Artemis says, "Yeah, Discord for the channel would be good. You should do it." Okay, I'll look into it, actually. I'll see whether we use StreamYard for the streams, and then obviously I can broadcast it to Twitch and Twitter, whatever else Facebook I want to do as well. But if I can get a Discord on there as well and broadcast it to there, then why not? I don't see why it would be an issue.
Maybe. I don't know if people do streams through Discord. It's more for
Do they not?
chats, I think. Yeah, but
Okay.
maybe you could technically share your people do share screen, and that's not the same, is it? Because then you might have to share you watching the actual game itself. Wouldn't work. But
is it more for after then?
It's more for growing communities and having discussions about things.
Mate, that's you know what? Maybe that might be a perk on the Patreon Discord, and then you can come on and discuss, right?
Well,
more private. Is that what it is? No.
No. That is definitely not. It's more of a public thing. People just ask to join the Discord and they can chat. Ideally, you don't want it to be exclusive. You want it to be as many people as possible joining.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. So I can, if you want, I can set up a Discord.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? Why not? Arthur says it's a good way to grow a community, Twitch, YouTube, etc. Not streaming through Discord just for the community. Yeah, okay. So then I guess
nice 1-2 by Serrano there.
Yeah.
And again, that round ends. I give that to Serrano 5 up. I think Serrano's comfortably won this fight. She just needs to keep doing what she's doing and not get knocked out.
Yeah. So then I guess the Discord will be for the community, for people to get involved, fans of or followers of the channel being able to hash it out, which would be quite cool. Deal says Mo's transfer deadline they're going to be shown live on BBC 1 or 2. Could be crazy. Final day, but Sumo Doku Line Soul might be relinked. I don't know. I think it's not. I think it's normally on Sky, to be honest with you, a deal, if I'm not mistaken. Deadline day.
Let's hope we get some stars. Man, you got Ronaldo back. I mean, I'm happy with. I think our team's looking good anyway. To be honest, I mean, despite what happened against Chelsea and the fact that we couldn't get a goal in after they were one man down, but it is what it is. It's what it is. They were holding on for dear life anyway. Okay, so round 9 of 10 is underway. That was definitely a red card. So 9 out of 10 underway. We got Serrano doing what she does, walking opponent down. Although Mikado did come back with some nice combinations just now, to be fair. But Serrano with a left and a right. You just feel as if Mikado's getting hit with more punches than she was originally getting hit with. Maybe her defenses are just starting to weaken as we enter very, very late stages of this fight. She certainly looks switched on, but maybe all those body shots are starting to accumulate. A nice short right hand thrown by Serrano. And Mikado, you can see her backtracking a lot throughout this fight, which isn't a good sign. And I see blood right now. I'm starting to see blood pouring down on someone's face, and it looks like Mikado's face. Or a nice body shot thrown by Serrano. It's looking very vicious. Or another body shot thrown by Serrano.
I reckon it could get
another body shot. It might get potentially. We've got 1 round left and 30 seconds left this 9th round.
Yeah.
But Serrano really is in control of this fight, and she's very much swarming Mikado right now. And you see a lot. I see a lot of blood. Or nice left hook thrown by Serrano. There's blood pouring down the cheek of Mikado right now. It's not looking very good for Mikado.
No.
I wonder where that blood is actually coming from. I assume it's the cheek, maybe the eye, just below the eye, but I think it's the cheek there. And this is a really, really good round for Serrano. And that's the end of the 9th round. 100% give that to Serrano. I got her up by 6. She's done an excellent job. She's got 1 round left, and there the blood is pouring down Mikado's left cheek there, and her left eye looks like it's closing up as well. Potentially, no, it's not. It's okay. It's okay. She just opened her eyes. It was a cut man pushing the cotton bud into her left cheek. Looks like her eyes were closing up, but she's okay. But she's it looks like we got the medical examiner taking a quick look as well.
Yeah.
I think really Mikado needs a knockout, which is not going to happen, I don't think. But to save her face, she just needs to stay in and not have the fight stopped. I think that's what she should be focusing on right now, because I don't think she's good. Oh no, the corner's thrown it in the towel. I think the corner's thrown in the towel.
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't. Well, Mikado Serrano with her hand up as if she'd won the fight.
I think that fighters do it before the last round to say, like, indicate
Sometimes.
like, oh, I've won this fight. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's unnecessary, isn't it, for Serrano? But fair dues. Also, it's not good not having the sound on, because sometimes you can misinterpret things. Final round is underway, round 10 of 10 before our big fight, the Paul Woodley fight. For those of you tuned in for that one, this is also a very, very big fight. 10th round, about 1 minute 20 left already, but you see Serrano doing what she does very well, which is closing the ring off, coming forward and throwing those vicious body shots. And oh my god, the combination, the amount of gas she's still got left in the tank, Serrano. She's laying it all out on Mikado right now. Significant number of hooks being thrown, and I really think Mikado is just hanging on for survival. Nice body shot thrown by Serrano, and the referee's taking a really good look here. 50 seconds left, and Mikado continues to backtrack, and she is trying to throw back, but she's coming into contact with a lot of hooks thrown by Serrano right now. He's continuing to walk her down. Another hook thrown by Serrano, and a body shot followed by a hook. She's doing a good job going downstairs and back up again. And trying a few uppercuts. A nice short right hand thrown by Serrano as well. She's taking a lot of damage, Mikado. A left hook thrown by Serrano as well, and she is swarming Mikado. 20 seconds left. She don't think she's gonna get her TKO,
No,
but
agreed.
she's convincingly won this fight
Yeah.
by all reasonable, by all doubt. She's 100% won this fight. She's just got 9 seconds left, and she continues to throw. Oh, beautiful uppercut thrown. Another uppercut thrown, and that's clearly Serrano's fight. I've got up by 7.
I don't know why Mikado is. I don't know whether she's celebrating because
Maybe
she's just
she's
like, oh,
happy
good
that she
fight.
survived, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it could be that as well. Yeah, I
And
think she knows she lost. Yeah, I think she knows.
and Mikado hugging Serrano right now, and looks like she's crying, or no, she looks very distraught. She knows she's lost, but she's probably very happy that she
Oh,
managed
she's
to.
got a bad. That's a bad cut. You
It's
know
a
that it's
very
on a
bad cut.
cheekbone. Luckily, it was on a cheekbone. It's not on her eye. But
Mikado took a significant amount of damage, and Serrano looking absolutely phenomenal in this fight. To be perfectly honest, dominated the fight. It's not a complete blackout.
no, it's not a complete
It's
washout.
not
Yeah.
you're not yeah, so not complete washout. It's not unanimous. Well, it is unanimous, but it's not going to be like, as you said, it's not a washout.
Yeah. Sorry,
It's
shutout even. Shutout.
whatever.
God, we both got it wrong.
Washout, blackout, whitewash, shutout, whatever it is. It's not any of that. I think she's going to be up by 7, but let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see. We're going to tune in.
Just sorting out her gloves or trying to. Minus Ronnie's low.
Just getting those gloves sorted.
I think that's her mum actually in the corner.
There you go.
That's Ronnie's mum. They look similar, I think. They're just showing the highlights of. That's a low blow there, to be fair. But then, the right hook
That
flip.
was a low blow, but yeah, that right hook absolutely.
Oh, look at that cut! It's grim. Oh,
Mikado is just. I mean, shout out to Mikado for being tough and taking
very,
it.
very tough, man. Tough as nails.
Tough as nails, exactly. But my God, did she take damage in this fight?
Yeah.
Those hooks, the way that Serrano has the ability to go downstairs and then follow up with those hooks, really good. Really good.
Yeah.
And she had so much energy. She just unleashed all of it in that final round. You could
Good
see
fighter,
how much
isn't
energy
she?
she still had. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, she said her against Katie Taylor would be all action, to be honest with you, because Katie Taylor is basically a much better version of Mikado. So I think that would ignite pretty quickly because there'll be a lot of countering going on and a lot of action kind of in the middle. So we're hoping that's going to be.
Score totals right now.
I reckon unanimous decision.
97 to 93.
Okay.
98 to 92. 99 to 91.
Okay.
Unanimous.
Nice. You can keep your sound on, by the way, if you want, because I can't hear anything. So.
Oh, really?
Might be all right. Guys, can you hear anything? Can you let us know if you can hear the commentary or not? Because if you can, then obviously we can get done for copyright. So do let us know if you can. But if you can't,
all in favor
then
of 97, 93, 98, 92, and 99, 91, which basically fits in with what we were saying. I mean, Serrano up by more or less. Well, one had Serrano up by 4. The other judge had Serrano up by 6. And the other judge had Serrano up by 8. And we had her up by 7. So that's pretty reasonable.
Indeed. I was going to get something to eat quickly from my kitchen. I'll be two secs.
Right here, while Fazan goes off to get a snack, just to let you know, Serrano has defeated Mikado, if you were just tuning in, by unanimous decision. and I'm gonna update the old banner right now. So Serrano defeats Ocado by UD Vicious. So yeah, I'm just gonna have this baby scrolling across. There you go. Really good stuff. Thank you, Adil, for letting us know. No, can't hear commentary. Best if you mute it instead of lowering it. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah. So I sometimes put the commentary on. Well, I only put the commentary on to listen to the scores at the end if it goes the distance. Just so that I can report it back to everyone. But otherwise, we're just listening to it without the sound, which can sometimes be confusing if something happens and we don't know the full context. Like, for example, in the final round of this fight, Serrano had a hand up, and I thought maybe Mikado's team had thrown in the towel, but it didn't seem to be the case. Really good fight. I mean, Serrano, highly rate Serrano, really good fighter. Vicious. She did a really good job of dominating this fight. So it'll be interesting to see more of Serrano in the future if we manage to cover her again in one of the fights. Maybe she'll be on the undercard or maybe a main fight. We'll see. I'll be following her, and then I think that should be all the fights except for the main fight, which is coming up, which is Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. So we should be getting to the main fight now. Adil, stick headphones in if you want to hear commentary on low. Yeah, true. I might. Sometimes it's nice to just have our own stuff, just so that we don't get mixed up with what the other commentators are saying on the actual like BT Sport or whoever's actually streaming the actual fight, just so that we're not listening to the commentators and trying to provide our own commentary. But maybe we'll sort it out where we can actually hear them and speak at the same time in case they mention anything that's interesting that we can share with you guys. Currently Jake Paul is, I don't know what the heck he's doing. He's getting some weird treatment. He's getting some proper stretch treatment now by his team, where they are properly stretching his body out. Some guy's basically balancing him on his feet while he lies backwards, like on some guy's feet in his team. It's a bit weird, but is what it is. Whatever helps. Like I firmly believe that Jake Paul's gonna win this fight. I think he's gonna knock Tyron Woodley out. To be honest, I think Tyron Woodley is a UFC fighter. He's well known for being a wrestler. I mean, he's not doesn't necessarily translate to boxing per se. I'm sure he's trained for this. He doesn't have his height advantage is not. He doesn't have a height advantage. Jake Paul has a height advantage. Not to say that being short is gonna mean that you ain't gonna win fights. You've got to think about Iron Mike, right? He was quite short, but Tyron Woodley's not Iron Mike, and you know, depends how much training he got about learning how to fight on the inside and fight opponents taller than him who have a longer reach. Just feel like Jake Paul is gonna feel quite comfortable fighting him. Artemis says, "Did you know who Tyron was before this?" In all honesty, no. I don't watch UFC too religiously. I watch a lot of like main UFC fights, but I don't watch UFC enough to know who Tyron Woodley actually is, to be perfectly honest. So I appreciate he's probably a decorated UFC fighter, but again, it doesn't really. I mean, who's he for? He lost to Kamaru Usman. Yeah, fine. He beat a number of people, but I mean, this to me, when UFC fighters try to fight it just doesn't work. When UFC fighters decide to get into the, for example, let me give you an example, right? Khabib, right? Khabib is a fantastic UFC fighter. He's obviously retired. Hypothetically, say Khabib was still fighting. You put Khabib in the ring to fight a boxing fight. I don't think Khabib is going to do an excellent job because his job is to wrestle people. His experiences in wrestling, yes, you obviously need to be good at trading while you're standing as well. But if you're a wrestler, if your style is wrestling in UFC, then you're probably not going to be like the best boxer, right? You're just not, and I just don't think he's gonna. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think he's gonna be able to reflect his fighting abilities in the boxing ring in that particular context where you have gloves and it's not bare, it's not very light to no gloves being worn, and you can't drop someone onto the ground or do anything like that. It's not. This is not the octagon. It's the boxing ring. I just feel as if it's different. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Cryptic says the women should have had 4 3-minute rounds. 10 rounds, 2 minutes is too much. Really, I think if Fazan doesn't look
I
happy about
disagree.
that, I think
That's a good
10
fight.
rounds is good. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think the more the merrier. I think they should have a longer fight. To be honest, I actually found it entertaining. I know, Cryptic. You said this fight was so boring. It was like chess for an hour. To be fair, I found it entertaining. I did actually find it entertaining. I mean, I think, I've watched other fights in boxing where it genuinely has been boring. And I feel like that fight was quite interesting, especially given how fast the hands were. Because the featherweight fight, it was very quick, very speedy. Um, and 2-minute rounds, it doesn't get too boring, to be honest. It's quite quick paced. It was all happening very quickly. I quite enjoyed it. Um, Adil, what you think about tattoo thing in this fight?
So basically, whoever loses has to get a tattoo of the other person.
I don't know. They, I have a feeling neither of them are going to live up to that forfeit. To be perfectly honest, even if they do lose, I think no one's gonna necessarily hold them to account for it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Artemis, I don't watch UFC either, but he's one of the 3 UFC fighters I knew. He's one of the best fighters ever in UFC. Fair, fair. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I didn't know Tyron Woodley was one of the great UFC fighters out there. It looks like he's had a very good UFC career. Um, but yeah, like I said, I don't think it transitions to boxing
Yeah, I mean,
very
I know
easily.
John Jones, Khabib, I knew a Poirier. What's his name? Tony Ferguson,
Kamaru Usman,
Israel Adesanya, Conor
Israel
McGregor.
Adesanya, yeah,
But I
Conor
don't know. I
McGregor,
don't. Maybe because Tyron Woodley's retired.
Islam Makhachev. Um, yeah, I know these guys. Um,
And obviously Anderson Silva as well.
yeah, and yeah, those are probably the main ones that I know as well. To be fair, and George's Saint Pierre, obviously, he's
Yeah.
GSP.
Faraz Kolani says, "Did the match start? Not yet."
Not yet. It
Artemis,
hasn't
look,
started.
I don't know, man. I knew Tyron before this. Heard of him. UFC is decent. I watch it a little. And this is how about UFC fighters getting into football? What position would they be suited as? I heard Khabib signed a deal with a football team. I mean, it's not doesn't translate at all to football. But I think it's just because he plays a little bit. Artemis says Jake Paul shouldn't even be amateur skill level right now in boxing. He's never fought against a boxer before, so he should get totally destroyed by Tyron tomorrow. But it depends how good is Tyron's stand-up game. maybe you can tell us, Artemis, because I don't know. But from what I know, he's a wrestler. So if he's a wrestler, then his stand-up game, that's not primarily his art, his striking. But if he's a good striker, then I don't see why not. Yeah, Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal,
Yeah,
yeah, he got
of
knocked the
course. Yeah,
frick out.
yeah he.
Yeah. Yeah, UFC's interesting, man. I mean, maybe I do think about covering it, but I don't know all the moves enough to be able to like succinctly cover that. We'd have to actually do a bit
Oh, he
ourselves. We have
nicked
to
him
get
out
into the octagon.
with a turning kick of 45 degrees.
It looks like a twisted kick that he has thrown, and he appears to be severely injured. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of them, especially the wrestling moves, there's so many different chokes and all this kind of stuff. Um, it's a whole new beast. It's a whole different beast. Obviously, if this fight was being fought in the octagon, then obviously Tyron Woodley would absolutely destroy this kid. But it's not. It's being fought with padded gloves in a boxing ring where you can only throw punches. And so it's, I don't know, but I feel like MMA fighters always have a problem with gassing out. They just don't have the type of endurance that boxers have. They always seem to gas out. It's because they have less rounds. They don't do
The
12
shorter
rounds.
rounds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean MMA fighters they have short rounds and usually people get knocked out before a lot of the fights end without the fights going the distance. It's just the nature of UFC fights. And for them to go through grueling 12 it's like what happened. It's like what happened when Conor fought Mayweather. He just got completely gassed out. It looked ridiculous by the end of it. It's easy work for Money May. So look, I'm not saying that. At the same time, I feel like maybe sometimes we're assuming that Jake Paul is an actual professional boxer when he himself, to be honest, is not. He's not a professional boxer, but I guess he hasn't been conditioned to fight as a UFC fighter, and therefore his stamina is probably better, and his endurance is probably better, and he's received far more boxing coaching, and he's training solely in the boxing context of things. So I just feel like he's he's better placed. He's just better placed. He's used to this. Whereas for Woodley, this is like the first ever. This is the first ever professional boxing fight he's ever going to have. I assume that's the case, isn't it? I don't think he's ever fought a professional boxing fight before.
No.
Certainly not recently. Otherwise, we would know about it. So
yeah. Adil says next UFC fight might be Gaethje versus Chandler. Gaethje is the one that knocked out Masvidal, was he? Or am I wrong? Justin Gaethje.
I think it was Kamaru Usman who knocked out Masvidal.
You might be right. Gaethje beat someone. Tony Ferguson. He beat Tony Ferguson, didn't he?
Yeah. Gaethje beat Tony Ferguson, and obviously then lost to Khabib, which is I believe that was his last. I believe that was Khabib's last ever fight against Gaethje.
Oh, Tony Ferguson. Talking of Tony Ferguson, he's there. He's in the back room with Tyron Woodley, I think.
Yeah, I mean this is all good. This is all good for fighting sports, to be honest. It's like, Andre Berto. What's AB doing here?
Andre Berto, bloody hell, he is washed up.
What the hell is Andre Berto doing here? He's washed
Tyler Williams
up.
says, "Are you guys showing the fight?" No, unfortunately, we can't because we'll get done for copyright. So,
sorry, Tyler. Yeah.
It does. To be fair, it does say in the description, no video footage. Disclaimer. Because I know that people.
We're going to try our best to commentate the fight, though.
Yes, we will be doing. Yeah, round by round, blow by blow commentary. Of course.
Got a few American Olympians in this prestigious arena as well.
But see, this is what I mean. Like, can I be honest with you?
Look how happy that guy. Did you see that guy? Happy. Yeah. No offense, I don't know who he is.
But can I say what other boxing fights, are you going to see these many like famous people or people of note?
Big money, any big money fights, right?
Yeah, big money fights. That's what I mean. So this is literally being shown like a big money fight. That's
Do you
the whole
remember when
point, right?
Pacquiao was fighting Mayweather and all those like actors and
Yeah,
musicians and the crowd's like, oh great, okay.
yeah. And then it was such a rubbish fight. Tyler
And it was
Williams
such
is
a
like
rubbish
cool.
fight.
No. Yeah, well, it wasn't. It's not surprising they didn't fight at the right time. They just fought when they were basically washed up.
Yeah.
The
But
fact that Pacquiao can hang with the rest of them now, or did hang with them, it just shows how, like, unfortunately, it's a pretty weak, like field really more than anything.
I find it so strange that Joe Weller's sharing this platform. But it is what it is, you know.
He's like, yeah, mate, yeah. We, Jake Paul is gonna get smashed. It's like, well, mate, KSI, you destroy him.
My
Have you
God,
seen the
he's got
video?
quite a bit of coverage right now. I mean, let someone
Have
else
you?
speak, mate.
Isn't he the guy? He's the guy who didn't he get knocked out in sparring fighting Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of the two?
Who?
Joe
This guy?
Weller. Yeah.
Joe Weller?
And
Maybe.
then apparently he was like, "Oh yeah, I was called to be part of a video," and then like they wrote me in and they videoed it, and I got knocked out, and he
Maybe,
became
I
a
don't know.
meme.
I assume
He
his
got
chin is suspect. He's
he
quite
got really
he's quite athletic. He's quite athletically built. He's probably got Amir Khan syndrome.
Oh my god, allow it. Amir Khan doesn't have a glass chin. I'm not going into this again. And Dale says, Wiz Khalifa, is he mates with Woodley? Is he there? I don't know, man. No idea. Here we go. They're showing the Anderson Gibb fight classic. This is such a joke that Anderson Gibb is literally, I think he was like 10 kilograms lighter than Jake Paul, and he never fought in his life.
To be fair, I remember this fight, funny enough. I was rooting for
the Nate Robinson fight. This is a joke as always, a basketball player. Overhand right flip. And,
that was pretty.
That was brutal.
That was like a street fight gone wrong because of the fact that it was so unorthodox in terms.
Mate, he'd gone to sleep. He's literally gone to sleep here. Oh my god, the way that he falls on the floor. Oh my
and then
god.
Boom, that overhand right, yeah. So right hook. I think it's an overhand, right?
He's like shit. Mate, he's got quite a few more tattoos since those fights. It seems like he's just getting tattoos every single fight.
That's what they do.
But you know what? It just makes me think that people just at that level that they got so much money, they got so much time on their hands. It's just like they know what to do with the money. So they're like, just put some ink on my body. Like, why not? Well, that's why I feel they do it. Same with footballers as well. To be fair.
Yeah, true. I don't know.
If you could get a tattoo, Mohammad, obviously we're never going to get one, but if you were going to get one, what would you get?
I'd get a tattoo that says "quality shot."
No, you wouldn't.
My back.
You really across your back. He flips your back and you can see it. Like,
all right, we're moving on to the main fight.
Why are you not answering my question about the tattoo?
Quality shot.
What would he actually get? What would he actually get?
A deal says Jake Paul 3 wins out of 3, Woodley 1 win out of 5. Let me see. Woodley. Let me search his fight background, all that jazz. Scroll down for a second. 1, 2, 3. Woodley ended up losing his last 4 fights before he retired in UFC.
He probably retired him. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, when they say like you don't want boxing to retire, you want to. Before that, it's almost like a lot of the times it's the sport retires you.
Let's see. So his first fight, submission to punches. Okay, fine. Second was a submission rear naked choke. That's a wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Next one was a choke wrestling thing. Submission arm bar wrestling. Submission arm triangle choke. That's wrestling.
Yeah.
TKO punches. KO. He lost the punches. He KO'd
striking.
someone through punches, KO'd through punches again, and leg kick. Decent amount of KOs through punches, but again, you're wearing gloves that are very, very like light,
Yeah.
and so the power really comes across. But I don't know if that's gonna. It's not probably not gonna follow through with proper ounce boxing gloves.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago. We're talking 2012, 2013,
I
2016 as
feel
well.
like he's not going to have power. Tyron Woodley, that's going to be the issue. It's going to be the power.
Yeah, he ain't. He's not knocked anyone out since 2016 in his UFC career. So
Oh, here we go. Oh, I think we're in the walkouts.
we
Oh,
are getting
mate,
walkouts now.
what the
Yeah.
hell? That looks insane, that walkout. Looks like he's coming out of a flipping air vent, Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, he looks.
Do you know, like, do you like Mission Impossible when they're walking through, like, they're coming through an air vent? It looks like that. It looks hilarious. Red.
So Tyron doing what he can to
Tyron.
make an impressive entrance into this ring. Wow, he's just coming up through the vents down there. Out he comes. There's the smoke. Team Woodley on his back. Off he goes, having a little stroll.
Look at those lovely lights.
As Fazan would say, if only he would hurry up with his entrance so he can get directly to the fight. Because
Get on with it.
these are all time wastes. Oh, he's got his rapper friend there. He's doing a bit of hip hop right now for him.
Also, I was right. I said 4:30, and it is 4:30.
Can I check something? So his mate next to him is doing some hip hop, but then he's wearing headphones. Are his headphones connected to what his mate is rapping about, or is he listening to some other music
He's probably listening to some other music.
while his mate is rapping?
His
Is
mate's
he
like,
listening
yeah.
to, like, you know,
His mate was like, "Oh, you gonna do the rap for us?" And he's like, "You can do the rap. I'm just gonna listen to some Michael Jackson,
some Beethoven, some Chopin. Just gonna calm myself down. You do your rap.
He's gonna listen to his rival rapper.
A deal saying Undertaker entrance for Undertaker. Only thing different, red lights, not black gong. Okay, mate. I think Tyron Woodley is the wrong sport again. This is not WWE. This is boxing.
The
Not
musical
UFC.
wrestler.
It's not UFC. It's not WWE. This is boxing. You know, this is box. This is gonna be.
He needs to come out to Eye of the Tiger, doesn't he? Really, come on.
I can just tell he's gonna get knocked out. I'm sorry. I can tell. I just have a feeling he's gonna get knocked out. You could just, when you see a fighter come into the ring, and when you see a fighter come into the ring, you just have a feeling he's gonna get knocked out.
But you know what? Normally it's to do
feeling.
with the look on his face, but he doesn't look like. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look like there's anything wrong with him. He doesn't look super nervous or anything.
He doesn't know what he's getting into. That's the thing.
I don't know. Maybe.
Also, what kind of fighter comes in with headphones on? He's obviously nervous. Why you got headphones on?
I think he was listening to the music, the same music maybe. Adil says might be too noisy. He got headphones that keeps voice down if he wears them coming from. Fair enough. And here you go, Jake Paul's coming out, and this time he's got blue. Blue.
Oh,
He's coming through a blue air vent. Artemis Logic says, "I think you have it all wrong, lol. This guy won't be nervous. He's a 3-weight world champion. I don't think he's nervous either. Yeah.
I think he's getting knocked out. He might be a three-weight world champ, but I have a feeling he's getting knocked out for this. I mean, has he ever come out for his UFC fights wearing headphones? I mean, I
quickly check.
Assume not.
Also, what is Jake Paul's hair? It's hilarious.
It's strange to be wearing headphones coming into a fight. I just think he's trying to block out his surroundings and trying to get into the zone, which must mean that he's He's not comfortable. Just
Jake
it is
Paul
what
is
it is.
like Jake Paul's a multi-millionaire. Could he not have a better haircut?
It is what it is.
It looks like,
Coming
looks like a
out
mop.
representing, I don't know,
Cleveland.
Cavaliers. Is that
Yeah.
American
It's a football team, isn't it? American football.
American football team? Yeah, that's appropriate for a boxing fight. Go ahead, mate.
That's where he's from. To be fair, though,
both of them not really coming in with the most appropriate.
Mohammad is basically like that
attire.
guy on the WhatsApp group, which is normally me, who's like, you're not talking about the relevant topic of this WhatsApp group, so you're going to get kicked out. But to be fair to Jake Paul, to be fair, Mohammad, and also Tyron Woodley, a lot of guys in the UK have come out in like football shirts. Like, for example, Tony Belly's come out in an Everton shirt before. He's a big Everton fan and stuff. So it's not nothing new.
I guess. But who's okay? Fine. Oh, they got a little robot thing back there. That's nice.
Mohammed's like,
Ultimately saying he probably gets money from all those sponsors. I agree. He's probably getting money for the headphones. Maybe it's I don't know what it was. Maybe it's
Beats probably. Something. Yeah.
He might be showing he's nervous, only to give Jake confidence. But when he's in the ring, might shock Jake and beat him. Potentially.
Ooh, reverse psychology.
Someone's getting knocked out. Neither of them look like they want to go the distance. Someone's getting knocked out in this. And wow, man, the ring is really filled up. You know,
I wonder why.
From the undercard. Yeah, obviously for the main fight, but it looks so much more packed compared to before.
Yeah.
This is what it is, you know. Wow, look at that impressive record. 3 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. 100% knockout ratio.
Mate, the best fighter in the world we're about to witness.
TBE. This is TBE.
GOAT.
TBE. TBE.
Oh,
3-0.
So he's wearing orange gloves.
I think Jake doesn't know what he's getting into, to be honest. This guy's a real fighter.
Do you know Artemis?
You know, I hope you're right, but I have a feeling.
I kind of agree with Mohammad, to be fair. Yeah.
I have a feeling Jake is going to do him in.
Like, look at, there's a height difference there as well, which reach is the same, which is interesting.
Okay,
he's also got very long arms.
So 39. Tyron Woodley. Wow, he's old. 24, Jake. 6 foot to 5'9". That is a significant height advantage for Jake. 190 pounds, 189.5 pounds. Yeah, both more or less similar weight. Both 74-inch reach. That's not what BoxRec says.
Oh, really? What does it say?
BoxRec says that Tyron Woodley's reach is 74 inches and Jake Paul's reach is 76 inches. So 2-inch difference, with Jake Paul having a 2-inch reach advantage. But
interesting.
What do I know? I only follow BoxRec.
We need to get out there with a tape measure, mate.
Yeah.
Why are we not there?
Good question. Why are we not there?
Exactly.
Because I wouldn't fly in for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
To be honest, if anyone would like to sponsor us to go out to fights and do coverage on it, then please feel free to get into contact with me. Details in the description of the video. And of course, happily, you know, all paid for expenses trip for me and Mohammad to stay in a nice hotel, go to all the big fights. The next big fight, of course, is Wilder Fury. So we are, would love. I'll put a poll up now. 1 sec.
Tyron Woodley.
Let's do it now. 1 sec. So before it starts, and then everyone's like, "Where's the poll? Where's the poll?"
I'm sure they're gonna do the US anthem. Let that roll through.
Yeah.
You
know what that reminds me of? You haven't seen it yet, but when you do see Batman, you'll know why I'm saying that. But it's hilarious.
They love America. God bless America. There's no one who loves America more than the Americans. I'll tell you that. They love America.
Yeah. Can you tell that it's late and Mohammad is clearly sleep deprived?
Tyron Woodley getting his headphones back on.
Did he sleep at all?
Nah, man, I stayed awake
Oh,
for
you
this. I
nutter.
couldn't contain my excitement for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
The adrenaline running through you, but you're probably watching highlights of
It's
Jake
probably
Paul's fights, mate.
this is
Mate, did you
this is
stay up
the
watching all of Jake Paul's fights? Is that what it was? All 3 fights in full,
There were a lot of fights
analyzing
to
them.
watch, to be honest, and I had to go through all the fights. You're right.
Mate, to be fair, 3 fights, an hour fight, you're
That
probably
is
watching Jake
that's a
Paul.
lot of Jake Paul content. Yeah.
You're probably loving it. Oh,
This
that's
is
what I
the
just
go on.
and no one hates England more than the English, lol.
Good one. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, if you ask the normal Englishman, they probably don't know the full anthem of the United Kingdom.
God save our great.
Yes, but if you were to say the whole lyrics, you
I
probably
don't know all of it, to be fair, either.
wouldn't.
I love how his name is the problem child. It's such a fitting name, to be fair. The
Problem
nickname.
child. It's like, well, will the problem be solved? Will the problem be solved in this fight? Will Tyrone fix the problem? Remember AB? Adrian
Yeah,
Broner. What was his nickname again? He was the
he was the. Let me check actually.
I feel like Adrian Broner was the problem as well or something. His nickname was
Problem little.
the problem. No, it was a few about Billions, Lil Brother.
Oh bloody hell! He's got the can
But
man. He's got everything.
his one was the problem, and remember when Marcos Maidana beat the shizer out of him, and afterwards commentators were like, "Problem solved."
That's so peak. That's so savage for no reason. Adil says it's Mo, it's Jake Paul all day watching all his fights. I know Mohammad is a super fan of Jake Paul.
Guys, we are about to actually start this incredibly important and historically significant fight right now.
Muhammad will be
making of
doing the main
TBE.
commentating, by the way. I will be just chiming in.
This is the making of TBE. Jake Paul up against a very tough competitor with a significant boxing record under his
Always
belt.
starting.
Tyron Woodley, 0 wins, 0 losses. If you already started, I've started now. Fight is underway, and Tyron Woodley adopting an MMA stance, but then quickly switches into going back into an MMA stance right now. Tyron Woodley going back into a boxing stance. Both fighters in the middle of the ring. You can definitely tell he's adopted an MMA stance. His hands are in a precarious position, but Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul currently just feinting at each other. Oh, okay, a jab landed by Tyron Woodley there. And Jake Paul trying to come back with his own.
He's looking pretty good on his feet, Tyron
Jake
Woodley,
Paul
actually.
with a right to Tyron Woodley's body. I think both fighters just warming up in this 8-round fight. In this first round, about 2 minutes more or less.
They're both moving quite well, actually. Tyron Woodley's moving well as well.
Yeah,
both athletic, you can tell.
Certainly. Yeah, I mean, again, just Jake Paul walking around the ring currently. Both fighters haven't thrown anything.
No, it's a feel out round, isn't it, so
It's a
far?
feel out round. And yeah, quite a few feints thrown. Jake Paul coming with a jab through Tyron Woodley's guard and then a shot to the body. All pretty light, to be honest. It doesn't look like it's affected Tyron Woodley.
No, I don't think he's actually. I don't think he landed.
You don't think he
didn't
landed
land.
that?
No,
I think probably brushed him, maybe then.
Yeah, it didn't land flush. That's for sure.
Well, certainly didn't land flush.
Nothing of note from either fighter in terms of landing flush.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go though. Jake Paul does that. He goes to the body and then left hook. Again, I don't think he's landed flush, but he's caught him on the gloves.
And Woodley just trying to come forward, I guess. But Jake Paul coming back with a 1-2, which doesn't connect.
I've seen Jake Paul trying to be more aggressive, I think, in his combinations, but nothing's landed clean yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of body work from Tyron Woodley, but again, not like anything significant.
Yeah.
A little right hook to the body from Woodley as Jake Paul reached. Sponsored by Boohoo Man, apparently. Jake Paul on his shorts,
Yeah, I see that as well.
robot shorts. Oh, Tyron Woodley goes for a double jab and a right hand, but misses completely.
Yeah. And about 10 seconds left of this first round.
I've got now 5 seconds.
I'm gonna refresh my stream. And we good. Yeah.
Ultimate saying Tyron's stance isn't a boxing stance, which is exactly what you were saying. It's MMA, but it's been alright. It's been a few that round,
you
really.
see him crouching. It's definitely like an MMA type of stance,
Yeah.
isn't it?
He's trying to get
I
power
have
from
no
his
one
legs.
up. I have no one up for that.
Nah.
I wouldn't give it to anyone. It's kind of
Same. I think if the judges want to go based on it, like which sometimes they do, which is just on like aggression rather than necessarily just who's landed flush. It's more who's been basically pressuring more than they'll go Jake Paul. But otherwise, I don't think you can go with anyone. I wouldn't go with anyone anyway. Adil says Jake Paul being aggressive, Woodley defensive. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jake Paul's necessarily being that aggressive though, Adil, as well. He's being pretty conservative on the back foot, and then he's basically coming forward.
Down.
Yeah, he's basically waiting for Woodley to throw a shot, and then he'll counter, and then he counters with a combination. That's what he's trying to do. Like neither's been successful so far.
Yeah, I agree. All right, round 2 is on now. Tyron Woodley just again adopting a bit of an MMA stance there, but it is what it is. And Jake Paul with a really like looping overhand right that doesn't really connect. Tyron Woodley again crouching and
he
coming
shook his
forward.
head, didn't he? Tyron Woodley shook his head at Jake Paul to say no, didn't land, didn't hurt.
Really interesting difference in stances, to be honest, with these.
Well, Jake Paul's just got the orthodox boxing stance, right? Because that's all he's ever learned. But Tyron Woodley has got this kind of
certainly enjoying it.
Yeah, he's got his blend, hasn't he? Tyron Woodley.
Oh, just Tyron Woodley just tried to throw a left hook. It didn't do anything, and Jake Paul just bantering him there.
Trying to do the Billy Joe Saunders, but it wasn't very good, was it?
No. And Jake Paul just kind of dancing around the ring currently. Tyron Woodley trying to hone in on him, but Jake Paul throwing a left. And Tyron Woodley just kind of trying to pin Jake Paul down right now, who is proving relatively elusive and dancing around the.
Oh, good jab from Tyron Woodley there.
Yeah,
I think that landed flush.
Yeah, but Jake Paul's taken it. Jake Paul trying to come back with a left to the body, but I don't think that connected. And
to be fair, doesn't look like Tyron Woodley's here to lie down, does it? It looks like this is
no.
This is the first proper this is going to be a actual test. I think at least for a few rounds, however way it goes.
Forward again. Yes, no, I have a feeling that potentially the longer the rounds go, I mean, maybe he'll get gassed out. I don't know, but 8 rounds doesn't sound too long, to be honest. Again, both fighters kind of in the center of the.
They're both, yeah. Oh, there we go. The body and then left hook, but didn't. I don't think landed flush. Tyron Woodley, I mean, doesn't look phased by it. If he did land flush, it didn't hurt him. I think it landed on the gloves. I think managed to get the gloves up in time.
Yeah, and both fighters just fainting again. And Tyron Woodley coming forward with something, but I don't think any of that connected, to be honest.
Yeah, a couple of combination punches, but nothing landing or just hitting thin air.
We're just approaching the end of the second round here, and I don't know who to give this one to, whether to assume that again it's just no one's up.
It's hard.
Woodley, I mean, they both had their own little.
No one's really, put the hand up and said, "This is my round." I think it's quite tough. I think some.
Go ahead.
I would assume the judges have it both to Jake Paul, just because. Let's be honest, like it's going to be that way. That's the judges are going to always favor Jake Paul, but I would assume, yeah, of course. Like he's the main attraction. Like if they're going to be slightly biased towards him, they'll see him as the champion or whatever. But that's boxing.
I have it. Well, for us, we are not sponsored.
Yeah.
by
I've
Jake
I've
Paul,
I've got it
I'd have it
even.
0-0. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
in my mind, it's a 0-0.
I think because thing is, if you give
Football
it
parlance.
if you give it Jake Paul the first round, then I reckon you give Tyron Woodley the second anyway. Although they're showing some highlights, and you can see there's a little bit of body work
Nice
from
bit of
Jake
body
Paul.
work. Yeah, I saw that.
But see, that's bias highlights because
It's
then
just
Tyron Woodley threw a good jab, he threw a couple of decent shots of the body, and then nothing.
it's a tight second round, as Adil said. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was also just saying Tyron is playing this all wrong. So interesting. It looks like he's getting a bit worried here afterwards.
Uh, 3-weight champione, however, and just both of them tying each other up. Referee's going to
Yeah.
step in and say, "Guys, this is not what people are paying
Yeah.
for."
Art was
And
saying he needs to just have a fight, forget the stupid stance. Lol. Fair enough.
I feel as if that's kind of just maybe that's the stance that you just can't get out of.
But he needs to have
Maybe
some
he
type of
feels comfortable
fundamentals. And
potentially
yeah.
in that stance. It's like kind of what Connor was doing, I think, as well in some of his fight with McGregor. Anyway, third round is underway, and yeah, not much activity right now. Tyron Woodley currently in the middle of the ring, and Jake Paul again just adopting the position of kind of circling around him.
A right hand land. I think it might have from Tyron Woodley.
Left thrown by Jake Paul, I think, to the body, and a nice bit of combination there. I saw the right to the body there thrown by Jake.
Yeah.
And Woodley coming forward again, trying to cut off the ring. And a jab thrown by Jake to the body. He's having some success with the jab. Oh, Tyron trying to come forward there and throw a bunch of combinations, but largely ineffective. And Tyron's jab just misses Jake. Jake come back with a jab of his own, which connects.
Arthur was saying Chisora can't box, but he just works his opponents as Jake Paul goes combination, goes uppercut. I think he landed there.
Land, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Tyron needs to do. I don't think it was flush, but it was clean enough that he would have felt that.
Oh, I feel like someone's gonna get countered. Someone's gonna get knocked out in this fight. I just have a feeling. And Jake just kind of, again, walking around Tyron, who's adopted the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
right thrown by Jake, which just brushes Tyron. But that if that connected, that might have been might have been pretty dangerous there.
I think Tyron Woodley needs to be a lot more busy. I think he's worried about Jake Paul with the jab and having the reach advantage and stuff. But yes. I think I kind of agree with Artemis. I think he just needs to get in there and just basically throw helpful. Then he might get caught. He might, but realistically, that's the only way he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win by just jabbing and moving with Jake Paul, because Jake Paul's actually jabbed a lot better than Tyron Woodley.
And a straight right thrown by Tyron, probably on the bell.
And a bit of chat from Jake Paul.
I'd give that to Jake.
Yeah, I would as well. Some Jake good body work. He's, to be fair to him, if we look at it just from a technical point of view, he's jabbed well to the body, which is quite an intelligent thing to do for someone who hasn't boxed for very long. Jabbing to the body, which obviously breaks down the body later on as the fight wears on. He's gone jab and also right hand to the body. A couple of decent jabs to the head as well, and also you can see there combinations where he's gone head and body, which I mean, it's not the most beautiful thing to watch technically, but it's it's kind of getting the job done. And a left hook as well, Tyron Woodley counter that Jake Paul threw, which is actually a pretty decent left hook. But you can see the right hand at the end from Tyron Woodley, which is a good right hand through the guard of Jake Paul.
Might have been on the bell. I don't know whether that was on the
but
bell
it doesn't
or
matter.
off the bell, but it was a nice right hand.
Yeah. And Adil says, might end in a draw with the rematch clauses already made in the fight. Mate, I don't think so, mate.
Well, so far we've got Jake up by 1.
Yeah.
And round 4 is underway. Looks like the tempo's increased in this fight, and we see Woodley kind of following Jake around. It's potentially a trap that Jake is setting for Woodley, though. He's kind of circling around the ring, maybe waiting for Woodley to kind of dash in. only to be caught with something on the way in.
Yeah, Jake
I
Paul wants
think
to
happened
counter.
to Nate Robinson when he fought.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Paul wants to counter Tyron Woodley, doesn't he? And I think the reason why Tyron Woodley is being a bit more busy is probably because he had success with that right hand. I reckon he's taken a bit of confidence from that going into this round, I'd assume.
Woodley just again adopting the middle of the ring. Jake just coming.
Just fainting, not really much going on at the moment.
Right
That's
now.
better.
Straight left thrown by Jake. Don't think that connected. And an overhand right, which
wild.
is I think hit
It
Woodley's
hit him
shoulder.
on his yeah. It's weird.
But I think Jake is doing the whole kind of pot shot and then grab afterwards type of technique.
Yeah.
Just seeing what he can get and then avoiding harm's way by tying up Woodley afterwards. And a left hook, which I think connected there.
Yeah, but Tyron Woodley looks he looks fine. I mean, he doesn't look like he's been hurt by anything. Neither does Jake Paul, to be fair, as well.
It's certainly a tougher fight than Jake's previous opponents. That's for
of
sure.
course, I mean it should be right, considering the caliber of opponent. Or good right hand from Tyron Woodley, and he ties him up. I think Jake felt that. He felt that. That's why he's tying him up, right?
Yeah,
he felt it. Not necessarily hurt him, but he would have felt it. He's hurt him.
Right
he's
hand
hurt
thrown
him.
by overhand
right
thrown by Woodley, and Jake does look a bit hurt. Jake sticking his tongue out as if to say that didn't really hurt me, and Woodley's doing a few bolo taunts when in reality Woodley should really just get on with it.
So he hit him with a right hand, and I'm pretty sure that the ropes helped Jake Paul. I reckon he might have touched the canvas if it wasn't for the ropes.
Jake Paul's got 30 seconds, and he needs to really hang in here and catch his breath. But who knows? Maybe he'll deal his own.
Mate, he hurt him there. He definitely hurt Jake Paul.
Woodley maybe was caught coming in though.
He was, which is why he then tied up Jake Paul. But he doesn't look hurt.
He's got power behind his punches, Woodley.
Thing is that it's the right hand from Woodley. That straight right hand looks like it's quite a good punch. And look at that! Oh,
we've got a proper fight on our hands, and that is going to Woodley. So that's 1-1.
I tell you what, Jake Paul is very lucky that he didn't get hit.
He looks a bit flustered, doesn't he?
If he got hit in the middle of the ring there, he's touching the canvas. I'm telling you that the ropes helped him.
Paul is looking flustered.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the replay.
Yeah, let's look at this replay.
So left hook. Oh, what a left hook! Bloody hell. From Tyron, that's a good left hook from Tyron Woodley. Was it the left hook or was it the right hand?
I feel like that's not what did it.
No, it's this. Here we go.
So it was a right overhand right, followed by nothing, followed by him leaning on him. Was that it? So it's the overhand right. That doesn't look as bad as it.
There we go. There you go.
Yeah, that overhand right.
See, look, he's falling to the ropes. He's lucky he didn't get a count there.
That should be a count. He was stopped by the ropes. By the ropes.
Yeah, he got lucky. So that's definitely Woodley's round 3.
Technically a knockdown, but not going to be counted as such.
Yeah, it won't be counted.
I've got it as 1-1 now, and Woodley's looking quite strong coming into this fifth round of 8. There's only a few rounds left.
Yeah. You could technically say it was a 10-8 round, but obviously no knockdown officially, so it'll be a 10-9. Oh, that's a good uppercut from Woodley, uppercut.
Oh my goodness,
God, the chin of Jake Paul got shook. He's got a good chin though, to be fair. He's got a pretty good chin to be stood in there. That's what I'm going to say for someone who's not. It
looks like he hasn't caused any actual damage to Woodley, and I don't know what Jake Paul is going to be doing. Is he going to try and knock Woodley out? Is he going to try?
Yeah, he's going to have to. He's going to have to because if you're hurt,
he just continue boxing.
He can try, but I think it's not. It's now stopped working.
He can win boxing potentially. I don't know, but
I don't know if he can anymore. I reckon the thing is that those punches would have taken the how much energy does he have left stamina wise? Can he box and move after getting hurt?
There's 2 minutes left of this 5th round, and Woodley is really in a very good position right now.
Oh, good right hand from Woodley as well.
Yeah,
again. It's funny, right? The fight it's almost like Woodley took the first 2-3 rounds to kind of just, or 2 rounds to really like, okay, let's just get a gauge of him, see what he's about, and then he just, like most fighters do, they calculate the information and they formulate a game plan.
Or wild overhand right thrown by left to the body thrown by Paul there, and wonder what Woodley's energy levels are looking like. I mean, seems okay.
Yeah, he looks okay, doesn't he, at the
Left
moment?
thrown to the body and an overhand right thrown by Paul, which is a glancing, and a left hook which does connect, and Woodley decides to shout at Paul to say that maybe it doesn't hurt him. But that was a good left hook thrown by Paul, to be honest. It might be enough to steal the round as well if Woodley doesn't really come back with much of his own. Maybe Paul will win on points if it doesn't go the distance. We've got about 40 seconds-ish left of this 5th round. And Woodley with a kind of wild right hook. A nice jab, though, thrown by Woodley. And an overhand thrown by Paul that doesn't connect. Left to the body thrown by Paul in terms of nice jab. A 1-2 thrown by Paul doesn't really fully connect. And Woodley trying to jab of his own. Woodley coming forward, getting tied up by...
I'm pretty sure all 3 jabs landed there as well from Woodley. So that things that will help him with the round. If he can just end the round well with a shot, just one shot, he might be able to nick it. It's been pretty tight.
Left to the body thrown by Jake, and an overhand right and a left, and there's about 2 seconds left of the round, and a nice overhand left thrown by Paul, and I give that to Paul, so it's 2-1. 2-1 to Paul.
Oh, I don't know.
I've got Paul up by 1.
Okay.
What do you have?
It's difficult that round. I think
I'd give that to Jake.
I think Jake was busier, but I don't know how much he actually landed.
I think the overhand.
Do you think? Let's have a look. Actually, they've got to show the replay. Let's have a look. No, see that. Oh, see the uppercut from Woodley at the start of the round. That was a really eye-catching shot. And then let's have a look here, though. They're going to show. Oh, and I see, Woodley.
Oh,
yeah, and then the 3 jabs. Well, I think.
Right.
I don't think Jake Paul landed anything flush.
Anything that Jake's done.
Well, let's have a look. It depends, right? So if he has, they definitely will show it. No, left.
That was a very nice left hook.
Yeah.
That was a very nice left hook. And bit of taunting, whatever it is what it is. Woodley took it though.
Yeah, I mean Jake Paul said did that hurt, and Woodley's like, nah, mate.
Basically. We're moving into the round 6 of 8 now.
Yeah, last 3 rounds here.
I feel like it might not go the distance. Oh, Woodley's trying to swarm Jake there, but Jake tying him up.
Thing is, if Tyron's got the gas tank, he should probably just put he needs to take Jake Paul into deep waters, because he's not experienced it before. He needs to really. He's hurt him once. Be calculated to hurt him again, but.
You know what?
Good job.
This is looking like this is a really tight fight, to be honest. It might even be a draw. Like a left jab thrown by Paul, and then a 1-2 which doesn't really connect, thrown by Paul. Woodley adopting the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
Paul
good
again.
body shot, to be fair, from Jake Paul to the right to the body. Then good work from Tyron Woodley, 1-2, but then
getting tied up.
Overreaches in the end, doesn't he? And ties himself up. Needs to be clever with the distance, right? Can't just lunge in. Needs to. I mean, look, he's 39 years of age, and yes, okay, he's a UFC fighter, but he's obviously done some striking before in those fights, so he'll know distance. Jake Paul with the left hook, both on the gloves, but then good jab.
Yeah, nice jab there. Jake coming forward with his own.
And good work from Tyron Woodley, though, to kind of just get out of the way. In the end, and that's such a wild left hook.
A really wild left hook thrown by Jake. It's not going to look good. About a minute and 10 seconds left of the 6th round of 8, and okay, left hook thrown, which I don't think connected, and a 1-2 thrown by Jake, which I think partially connected. Woodley coming forward still, trying to walk Jake down.
Well, I think
and a left hook thrown by Jake.
Yeah, don't know if the uppercut from Woodley landed off the hook, but if it did,
about 45 seconds left of this 6th round.
Oh, good left hook from Tyron Woodley, and the counter left hook from Jake Paul doesn't land. I don't think. I think it's hit the gloves of Tyron Woodley, and then a couple of body shots in the clinch from Woodley, but nothing of note.
If I was Jake, I probably would have tried to force Woodley to have more, to throw more punches, try and gas him out.
Yeah,
Looking
maybe.
back on it, I think Jake turned this more into a kind of a
But the issue though is that
a throw and clinch type of situation, which probably favors Woodley. I would have thought.
I think he has. If he does it from the start, yeah. But the issue is that Tyron Woodley hurt Jake Paul, right? And then once he's hurt him, we're able to do it. Brownie say one saying Jake Paul is winning. I've got it even now.
I've got it even now as well. I would have given that one to Woodley, so I've got it even 2-2.
I'm telling you now though, the judges will have it. The judges will have Jake Paul 1 or 2 up, 100%. Like it's a fact. Like if it goes to points, there's no way Tyron Woodley's gonna get a decision.
What we got 2 rounds left, I think. Round 7 and round 8.
Yeah.
Ooh, championship rounds.
I love we're calling 7 and 8 championship rounds.
It's the making of TBE.
To be fair, right though, it shows that he's got heart. He's got hold.
I disagree. Punch and hold is just just classic boxing. Letting Tyron just let his hands go would be bad.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe. Yeah, fine. I mean, that's reasonable. Reasonable to say. I just feel like
because when he did let his hands go, he hurt him, didn't he?
Eventually favoured Woodley because
good right hand.
I feel like his stamina could be tested a bit more, and Paul's probably not done a good job of doing that.
I agree with the stamina, but I think Woodley looks like he's in shape. I think the issue is that Jake Paul hasn't gone this long either in the boxing fight. So what's his gas tank like?
Yeah, you're right.
Right,
but you'd assume that the younger man's got a better gas tank,
but he's inexperienced. People gas out all the time.
He's breathing heavy to be.
Mate, even AJ when he was in his earlier fights, remember, like got past 8-9 rounds and he looked like he was gassing.
Jake Woodley coming forward with his own right now, and nothing really happening. Woodley's standing in the middle of the ring, and Paul just trying to throw a jab to the body. Nothing really.
But to be fair, look, I mean, no matter what happens, Jake Paul's. To be fair, he's shown quite a bit of heart. He's shown that he's got.
Not really. He was stopped by the ropes. He probably would have got knocked down.
I don't know. No, but that happens, right? But he's still there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he just ate a left hook thrown by Woodley, though.
Good left hook from Woodley.
And to be honest, that puts Woodley ahead in this round, to be honest. I haven't seen anything eye-catching thrown by Jake. Jake needs to come up with something. He's got 1 minute 40 seconds, and there you go. He comes back with his own.
He likes that left hook, doesn't he? Jake, definitely. Counter left hook.
A wild overhand right thrown by Woodley there. Jake just about ducked out of the way.
I feel like I don't know whether Woodley needs to be a bit more proactive. I would say he should be.
Otherwise, he's going to lose on points because of non-activity and the judge's bias. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Nice left thrown by Jake, and a left to the body thrown by Jake. It was kind of looked like more of a push, but is what it is. Oh, nice straight thrown by Jake. Woodley trying to come forward with a hook there. I think it was partially blocked.
Oh, it's decent left.
And Jake with a left, which connects. I think Jake has probably connected the most in this round. Woodley coming forward again, and a left to the body thrown by Jake.
He's there for the taking.
You know what? I think Jake should go to the body, to be honest. He hasn't done that very much. And I think he should.
It's too late now, though.
I know, but he's got 1.5 rounds. 10 seconds left. He should look to try. Oh, did you see that right hook?
By who?
By Jake. I think that landed flush.
No, did that?
While Woodley was coming in, I think that's enough to edge.
Yeah, agreed.
That goes to Jake, and Jake lifts his
one
hand.
up, I think.
I think Jake is winning this fight.
Arthur says Tyron should be going all out right now to get him out. Only 1.5 rounds left. Yeah, agreed. This is either finishing a draw, Jake Paul controversial win, then Woodley gets a rematch. Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he's going to give Woodley the rematch. If he wins, he's
Oh,
going to move
good.
on. You see that?
Good.
Was that an overhand, right? Was it?
Yeah, it's a good counter, right, right overhand, right. Yeah,
Oh, you see that that looked very good.
yeah,
I think he's up by one, and we're
yeah.
coming into the final round now.
He's a
And
tough
he's
guy.
getting
Both
that pep talk. If
Tyron
Jake
Woodley,
gets knocked
but
down, for example, it will change the fight.
yeah,
Probably
he
turn it
needs to.
into a
I mean,
draw.
if I'm Tyron Woodley, I'm coming out flipping swinging, but it depends. Like, whether is he happy to just lose on points? Because that's what will end up happening if he doesn't. Because if you take
I'd
even
like to see Woodley come out swinging.
if he even wins this round, Tyron Woodley, like it's even in our eyes, right? And the judges will have bias, so no way that he's going to win if he doesn't knock out Jake Paul now. He's going to have to just go big.
All right, so round number 8, the final round is underway, and a right hand thrown by Woodley and a left jab, which I think just misses Jake. When you can see Woodley's come out with a real
Oh, good
purpose.
left hook.
He is trying
Oh,
to
yeah,
walk him down.
he's trying. Yeah,
He is trying to go for the knockout. I think Woodley.
he's hurt Jake Paul once. He can do it again. He needs to put his punches together, be calculated with it, don't overreach,
Yeah.
and find the openings right. But the issue is that he hasn't been incredibly good at countering. But he's been pretty good at putting combinations together at the right time. So you'll have to then do that, I think.
Jake with a kind of overhand right, which doesn't really connect. Jake doing a lot of just kind of using his movement to just prevent Woodley from making any moves.
Yeah.
Probably favors Jake anyway.
Yeah, because I think
Tying Woodley up now.
Jake Paul thinks he's winning, which he probably is.
Yeah, he's probably winning on points.
Around at least around. So he's probably just not fussed. I think he'll be happy to take the win on points because he's been hurt in the fight as well. So he's not going to take any risks.
Yeah, he'll probably let Woodley try and come in for the knockout and then
counter
him. Catch him.
Yeah, he'll try and counter him, but he won't be the one who opens up. I don't think, which is
1 minute 20 left of this final round. And surprisingly, it looks like it will be going the distance.
Which is completely what we thought wouldn't happen.
I guess Woodley's done better than we thought. Better than I thought. Although I still think he's lost this fight.
This round, I think, so far is Woodley's to be fair. So if he does manage to win this round in our eyes, I think it would be even. But it just depends.
You're right. It would be even.
I mean, so far Jake Paul hasn't really done anything this round, and
do something.
Tyron Woodley's thrown a few decent shots.
If Jake Paul gets caught with something that looks really bad, it might change the view of the judges potentially. But I mean, obviously they can only score it per round, so they might already have Jake Paul winning the fight by this point anyway.
Yeah, agreed.
About 20 seconds left, and assume we're not going to see anything dramatic.
Oh, good right hand from Tyron Woodley. I think that landed. Right he's got to go for it now. He's got 16 seconds. You just throw. 15
seconds.
Swing for the hills, like literally just swing.
Imagine seeing a knockout at the end of this, but
mate, he's got to just. Oh, 6. No, it's done. It's done. No one's getting knocked out now. He's trying to do the Matador thing.
Oh, come on. So
you can't do the Matador thing when you get hurt in the fight.
At the end of the fight, 8 out of 8 rounds have completed. Jake Paul gets onto the corner and lifts his hands up as if to say that he's won. Woodley basically doing the same thing.
What do you think?
I think personally, on the basis of our collective decision making, it's a draw. It's a draw. But we're not the judges, and I think the judges are going to score it either a draw or it's going to be a split decision in favor of, depending how many judges there are.
I think it'll be 3 probably. I think, won't it?
Fine. Maybe it's unanimous, but I believe Paul has won.
Yeah, I think they'll give him the decision.
Artemis says, my sound on.
Go for it. Artemis says neither are doing anything. It looks rigged. You know what? I was thinking that they don't look very active, but I actually don't think it was. I personally, and it could be rigged because boxing, there's loads of examples of that and it being corrupt. But what I would say is that no, I'm being honest. But genuinely, like what I would say is that both were scared of getting knocked out. Both were scared that, look, if we get knocked out, we're going to become a meme. Jake Paul got hurt, and then he was like, I'm going to go into my shell. And then Tyron Woodley was like, I don't want to get countered, because a couple of times he got countered. And Jake Paul with some good counter shots. It says, terrible fight, my brain hurts.
To be fair, to be perfectly honest, if we see it for what it is in terms of professional fight, it wasn't very interesting per se.
But I think you have to take it to one side. Yeah, you take it to one side and say this isn't a high level boxing fight. His Ultimate says worse fight. To be fair, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've seen worse professional boxing fights.
So have I.
So, like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's. I think
I don't know if anyone wants to see Jake Paul. I mean, obviously, people want to see Jake Paul fight again, but it's there isn't much to this fight. Like, according to us, it's a draw. He's got the judges in his pocket.
Yeah,
and he's therefore going to win.
It's his show.
In reality, it's a draw, man. It was a draw. He didn't really do that much.
No, and he's the one that got hurt. Jake got hurt, didn't he? Horace says Jake was so open. Woodley could have done more. I think Woodley could have done more. I think again, though, the issue was Horace is that after he had that success, when he did try and throw, Jake then countered him. But you can see there that's where
the
Jake. You know what? So if you see here the right hand that rocked him, Jake actually puts his arm into the rope to hold himself up. So that technically is a knockdown. You know that he can't do that.
The referee. Why didn't the referee step in and start giving him a count?
That's rubbish because you can't hold. If you hold yourself up with the ropes, that's cheating. You're not allowed to do it. Yeah, you're not allowed to hold yourself up.
Let's see what the actual result is.
So they were playing first to blink, just staring at each other. I'm just chatting.
Woodley would be happy that he hasn't been knocked out, and there's no images of no. But let me say this.
Yeah, go on.
All of Jake Paul's previous opponents, they've looked rocked or knocked out, and obviously Woodley doesn't have to suffer that embarrassment. Anyway, we're coming to the points.
I think the issue is though is that he rocked Jake Paul, right? So if he's rocked him.
Okay. Split decision, like I thought.
I'll go to Jake Paul, 100%.
I thought it'd be split. 77-75 in favor of Paul. 77-75 in favor of Woodley.
Is it going to be a draw?
There we go. 78-74 in favor of
rubbish.
Jake Paul.
Oh, I knew it.
I thought split makes sense. Split is fine.
Yeah, you're right to be fair. Split, but 4 rounds. How did he take?
78-74 is a stupid judgment.
Do you know what that means? That means that he won 6 out. That means he won 6 out of the 8 rounds.
What? Stupid. 77-75 I can understand for both. That makes sense, but seriously, 78-74. I don't know. Either way,
but
we saw it as a draw. Jake Paul split decision, fine. It's understandable, I guess, especially given the fact that he's got potentially the judges in his pockets. Fine. This result is fine. Whatever. It's understandable. I hope there's no rematch. I don't want to see it.
Adil says a rematch going to happen now because that was a draw.
I don't want to watch it.
Really
I don't want to watch the rematch.
Can I be honest though? Do you know what the issue is? Is that realistically, if the rematch happens, Jake Paul will be a lot better in the rematch because he'll just carry on fighting. Is Tyron Woodley going to dedicate himself to fighting? In terms of who wins, by the way, the poll was Tyron Woodley 80%, Jake Paul 20%. But obviously,
there you go.
Not the case in the end.
I did predict Jake Paul would win.
Yeah, we both
did. By the end of the fight, I thought you'd knock him out though. Didn't happen. Fine.
Yeah.
By the end of the fight, we had it as a draw. So, quality shots, judgment decision is that it was a draw, but the winner is by split decision, Jake Paul.
Yeah, split decision and flip it now. Hara says Tommy versus Jake. I guess to be honest with you, Tommy Fury. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Like, I don't know who would win that. Sounds harsh, but Tommy Fury is not anything at the moment. He's just, yeah, he's just kind of building himself up. So we shall see. I don't know what Jake Paul's saying.
He's just saying Cleveland wants good. He's so like just strange guy.
Fat notification says was obvious Jake Paul would win. Is staged. Danny DDT says what a load of BS, rigged to hell. Thing is, it's interesting, right? Because I think me and Mohammad had it even, like we had it a draw.
I had it a draw, yeah.
But realistically, like I don't know whether Tyron Woodley wasn't fighting properly or whatever. But thing is, the reason why it makes me think it wasn't is because he hurt Jake Paul. I think the issue was that Jake Paul hooked his arm into the ropes as he was falling into it, which is cheating. You can't do that.
Should have been a knockdown.
And it should have been a knockdown. Should have been a standing count. Didn't get a standing count.
If it was a knockdown, it wouldn't have changed the result. Oh, actually,
No.
well, it
would have.
77-75 would have changed. It would have been a split.
It would have been a split decision.
For Woodley.
Woodley, yeah.
Wow. You know what? The referee should have stepped in for that. That's not fair.
Boxing is not fair.
People will argue forever now that fight was rigged because Woodley didn't get his knockdown that he did deserve. When you hook your glove into the ropes to stop yourself from falling down, that's a knockdown. And the referee should have stepped in and said that is a knockdown.
Is he saying he got hurt or no? Is he saying he got hurt, Jake Paul? Or no?
He's just chatting himself up.
Okay.
And he's taking shots at Tommy Fury.
Oh, go on. Oh, thing is, I really want Tommy Fury to knock him out, but the issue is I don't
think Tommy Fury is good enough.
I don't have faith in Tommy Fury to say that he could beat him. Like Tommy Fury just went to points.
His fight today,
Tommy Fury just went to points with a flipping MMA fighter as well.
Yeah.
Not a very good one as well. Adil says the final guy to decide the points was a Jake Paul fan. 15-year-old YouTube fan. Classic, probably. I don't know, man.
Oh man, I would have. We're gonna watch future Jake Paul fights, aren't we? Until we see this guy get knocked out.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Oh no, we've just opened a can of worms.
We've committed to it now.
Anyway, it was a draw according to the judges. Split decision in favor of Jake Paul, and if they actually ruled the knockdown for what it actually was, then it probably would have been a split decision victory for Tyron Woodley. But because they don't know how to actually rule knockdowns properly in this area, where I assume they do basketball instead of boxing, whatever the hell.
Boxing in American football.
they just they basically couldn't put together a knockdown, even though the signs were very clear. So I think they should just continue to play basketball and American Hockey League at this place, and get a referee in who actually knows how to judge a knockdown, because that should have been a knockdown. And it's funny that I don't think they talked about it.
I don't know.
Why is no one talking about the fact that was a knockdown? I mean, are we stupid?
Did they even ask him whether he got hurt or not?
I had to skip through all the other stuff he was saying. Obviously, he's got his older brother just kind of saying how great he is.
Yeah, he's the best.
Honestly, it was a knockdown. I mean, it is what it is.
You're so upset.
I'm not gonna rant about this, because again, it's a bit of a kind of.
You don't have to rant about it, but you can rant about it.
It's a bit of an exciting, kind of a celebrity-ish boxing fight, and therefore it's not that big of a deal per se. Yeah. But people will always say that he was robbed.
But you know what? But people forget about it. They'll forget about it in 2 fights time. It'll be forgotten. Adil says Tommy Fury could beat Jake. He can get training by Tyson, encouragement from his dad. Oh, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
can I say something? He's had his dad and Tyson Fury in his corner since he was like born. So I don't think that means that much. Like, you either got it or you don't. And I think it's a bit harsh to say he doesn't have it now, but he's still very, very raw. Like, very raw. And there's a reason why he hasn't taken step up fights yet, because he's still Oh, they're about to speak to Tyron Woodley. Do you want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah. He says he feels like he won the fight. The fact that one judge gave him 2 rounds is laughable. He says he wants a rematch. He wants an instant rematch. He felt like he won the fight.
He does not look happy, does he?
He's saying, I just walked him down and all this stuff. What's Jake gonna say? Jake's saying, of course he wants the payday. Oh, he's saying you had your opportunity. There's no way there's going to be a rematch. Jake Paul don't want it. Wow, Logan Paul saying you're old news, fam. Already.
Where's Logan
There you
Paul?
go. He's saying you would have gone through the ropes if the ropes weren't there.
Oh, what is he?
Jake Paul just said, if you get a tattoo saying I love Jake Paul, then we'll have a rematch. And Tyron Woodley says, yeah, go on, then I'll get the tattoo.
Oh. Mate,
come on now. If he gets the tattoo, he's going to say, no, I ain't going to give you a rematch, you mug.
Can I say something? He may as well just flip in. He can do it in as little writing as he wants, in a different language, and then just get it lasered off after the second
he's
fight.
Not gonna, even if he got the tattoo, he's not going to get the rematch. Let's be honest. Jake Paul's just going to say, you look like a mug. I'm not giving you the rematch. Enjoy your tattoo. Like, there's not going to be a rematch.
Yeah,
there's not going to be a rematch. He doesn't want it.
It's just BS. No, seriously. And also, why is Logan Paul getting involved? You know what? Logan Paul get in the ring with Tyron Woodley, mate. Floyd Mayweather carried you for whatever, flipping 6 to 8 rounds. Like, he's saying you're old news. Like, he literally just fought him, and he put him through. What did he say when he said about him putting him through the ropes? Yeah, classic. There we go. Classic. There we go.
He definitely went through those ropes. I don't believe that was not a knockdown. That was a knockdown. Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is. Jake Paul wins by split decision. We're gonna have to continue watching this saga until this guy gets knocked out.
Dios says the guy must be blind or watching another boxing match who gave the final decision in favor of Jake. Well, I don't know boxing rules. Yeah, I don't know. Like
74 is a bit weird.
Carnage. How can he give only 2 rounds to Woodley, especially because he definitely hurt him in one of the rounds. I think he hurt him in 2, actually, really. To be fair, there's a couple of rounds at least.
I thought we were looking at a draw as well, but then when they said the third result, I was like, what the hell? 78-74? It's a bit weird.
And the thing is, 78-74, I knew it was going to be to Jake. It was never going to be to Tyron Woodley.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's it, guys. That's everything, isn't it?
Can you hear what Jake's saying?
What's he going to say?
He's talking to BT at the moment.
He said he's not too happy with his performance, but this is only his 4th fight. No one's done this in such a. No one's done this with getting so much pay-per-view revenue. This is unprecedented. He said he's going to now figure out what he wants to do next. There you go. The lady just said, you got knocked down in the 4th round. What happened? And Jake Paul said, I didn't get knocked down.
Ooh.
I love this. I love how.
Can I say something?
Discussing him like that. It's so funny.
I love that she doesn't give a crap
she
about.
She doesn't give a damn because she's English.
Good.
She doesn't
I love that. Great. Good. Like she didn't hold back.
She said exactly that.
Yeah. No one else has said it. No one else has had the balls to say it. Everyone else has been tiptoeing around it.
Canelo down. You're right. She's just asking him, who do you want to fight next? And he's saying, who knows, we'll find out.
Jake, John, please fight Canelo, please, please. It would just be
Jake Paul's
amazing.
saying that I came yesterday, I was all tired, I feel tired. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and figure it out. He might even freaking retire. He might even just say, like, I'm done. Maybe this fight's made him realize that he can't
He's not.
actually step up the gears,
Maybe.
and that if he keeps this up, he's gonna get knocked down
Can I
a
say
bit.
something though? You know what? He went through the ropes there, and in that moment, it might have been, oops. Maybe I don't. Some people like when that happens to them, if they get knocked into the ropes, they get knocked down, which it was a
Realize they
knockdown.
don't want it. They don't want
They
it.
realize that they don't want it. No, they realize that they don't want it as much as they thought they wanted it, and
Yeah,
they're not willing to go through that to get floored or get knocked out.
yeah.
So it's been all fun and games, right? He's had it all his own way, but let's see. Horace says Jake was on the back foot and ran around for a bit. It was even. Do you think Jake is a boxer? Nah, mate. Horace says he held himself up though. Should it have been a knockdown? Yeah, it should have been. Social media thinks Woodley was robbed, apparently. Horace says Jake was missing. The only time he landed was the counter, and I recall 2 punches like that. Adil says Fazan Canelo's on his hit list, might be next. You never know. Mate, Adil is not Canelo. If Canelo was, can I say something to you? If Canelo was at super middleweight and Jake Paul was at cruiserweight, which is where he's at the moment, and they fought at those weights, Canelo would literally, as Mohammad just said, he would knock him out in one round, and he would knock him out with a body shot, and he'd be on the floor, and he would be gone. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, Canelo would absolutely destroy him.
100%.
Like, genuinely.
This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's not even a discussion. Canelo would destroy some of the heavyweights around now. Like some of the heavyweights, pro heavyweights now, he would destroy them. Exactly. Horace says Canelo would kill him.
Jake Paul's not actually fought a professional boxer yet.
Yeah, he
And
hasn't.
we're going straight to Canelo, pound for pound.
Like let's just relax.
Canelo
Like
would
we don't even know
murder
if he'd
him.
beat Tommy Fury, and Tommy Fury is like an F level fighter at the moment. Like
We'll see how this fight goes. I'm sure it'll be interesting. I think that's all for.
To be fair, if they do Tommy Fury, Jake Paul, I'm interested in that because I would be interested to see.
Oh yeah, we'll watch it. I think we're gonna follow Jake Paul's next fight anyway.
They're looking at the round 3. Is the round 3 where you got put through the ropes? No, it's a good round for
Jake.
It
was 5, 4 or 5. But no. Look. Don't get me wrong. He boxed well. It's just he didn't box so convincingly.
Nah.
To get a 78-74, for example. I mean, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever the decision's the decision. He should have been scored a knockdown.
There you go.
There you go. That's a knockdown. That's a knockdown. Everyone knows that's a knockdown. It's obvious. Look at this. Look at
his arm. Look at his arm. Look, watch. You see,
he's falling down.
Did you see? He's put his arm in like that to grab onto the rope.
He's 100% falling down in that situation. But whatever, it is what it is.
Horace says Woodley had mad opportunities to hurt Jake. He fought at Jake's pace. It's true as well. Canelo would destroy him, but the way this fight went, it would go to Jake now. That would beat Canelo off. Yeah, but Canelo would knock him out though. It wouldn't even go to cards. There's no point even discussing it. Canelo would absolutely wreck. Like he wrecks like 99% of all fighters out there, excluding maybe I'm not even joking. He would beat some of the pro heavyweights out there.
Yeah,
like he genuinely would. Like that, he's actually a beast. He's not pound for pound number 1 for no reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus KSI versus Jake, maybe no. I think to be fair, Jake Paul's good enough that he'd probably knock KSI. KSI doesn't box. Like he hasn't been training.
Jake Paul needs to continue to elevate himself where he fights higher fighters.
Thank you. Yeah, it says why are we mentioning Canelo? Horace says why are we mentioning Canelo? Who is Jake compared to him? Let's stop. Exactly. Yeah, please let's not put him in the same sentence.
It's only because he's been mentioned in the list of people, and it's worth mentioning it just for the sake of mentioning it, right? Because he's been mentioning Canelo's name, which doesn't make any sense. He obviously
Tommy Fury. I want Tommy Fury, man. Tommy Fury is where it's at.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that fight looks.
Yeah.
But there you go, guys.
Should we wrap it up? Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Anyway, interesting night of boxing. Main headline is that Jake Paul has won his fight against Tyron Woodley by way of a split decision, in a relatively controversial manner, given that he was knocked down, but it wasn't actually classed as a knockdown. We'll see. We'll see who Jake Paul decides to fight next. Hopefully, it will actually be someone, who's a professional boxer. That would be good. But we'll see. I'm sure we'll follow it and stream it until he gets knocked out, I assume. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. And yeah, please do, if you haven't already, like and subscribe if you haven't already as well. And yeah, we'll see you on the next boxing stream. It's been a pleasure watching this exciting integral fight with you all into the mid hours of the morning UK time.
Yeah, I think Amanda Serrano was probably the best fight, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Mohammad, as always.